marching redcoats in the Georgia fight song to start the 4 o'clock hour. You want to impress your friends this weekend?
Sure.
Ask them how Georgia got its nickname. Bulldogs.
Okay.
Any guesses?
I have no clue.
Their first opponent in football was against the Yale Bulldogs. So they said, well, that was nice of y'all to come and play us. We're going to call ourselves the Bulldogs.
What an honor.
Yeah.
Interesting. So good.
Just like that.
So good to see you.
Then
We're going to name our team the Bulldogs.
Then Tennessee stole Yale's fight song.
Wow, that's incredible.
Down the field.
That's incredible. Wow, I guess you got to start somewhere. So, you take inspiration. It's not stealing, it's taking inspiration,
It's the old story. There's nothing new. There's just different people doing it.
That's exactly right. Yes, and so that's funny. I'll be telling everybody that this weekend. While the game's going on, before, after the game, that'll be my trivia for the weekend.
Ole Miss, red and blue. You know why they chose red and blue as their colors?
I have no idea.
Harvard red, Yale blue.
Really?
From their origins of starting college football.
Wow, interesting. I did not know any of this.
Alabama, the Crimson Tide. Crimson like the Harvard Crimson.
I was starting to piece it together there, but
we owe it all to the Ivy League.
I guess so. Wow. I mean, we can never hate on the Ivy League again.
Right. Just stay there.
Yeah, just stay up there.
Stay in the Ivy League.
We'll honor you or whatever.
We'll take your good stuff and you keep the rest.
Yeah, you keep everything else. That's funny. Yeah, I did not realize all the correlations with Harvard and Yale in the SEC. But no, we talked about it all week. It is a really, really good weekend ahead of us and some really fun games. Tomorrow afternoon in college football, a lot of ranked-on-ranked matchups, some of ranked teams versus some sneaky tough opponents. So it's going to be some fun games, and it starts early tomorrow morning with, again, and we're going to talk about it a couple times today, I'm sure, especially when we get to picks throughout the show, but Vanderbilt, a favorite against LSU, bright and early tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, it does. I even say it starts tonight, though. I think U of L and Miami will be really good.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I was just talking about the ranked-on-ranked matchups is going to be starting with that one. But yeah, no, tonight, this is going to be could be a difficult spot for Miami, and at home, so you definitely got to feel better about that. But undefeated against a weird Louisville team. I mean, sometimes they look really, really good. Sometimes they look really, really bad. And sometimes they'll look really, really bad for a half and then come out in the second half and look like world beaters. So this is going to really be a tough test for them. And, really curious how they answer on the road in Miami.
Brian, that description of Louisville is right on, and I think that fits a lot of good teams.
Yeah.
I mean, how many teams out there played 2 good games? A few that's played 3 good games. Ohio State, have they played 3 good games yet?
Yeah, I think you could probably argue both ways, and I think there's a question mark about it for sure. But yeah, I think you're right. I think that's kind of how wide open college football is this year, and kind of how strange a lot of these teams are. And so yeah, I'm excited about that one. 6 o'clock tonight on ESPN, so it'll get us started right when we get off the air here. We'll be tuning in for that one. And Miami at home, number 2 team in the country, an 11.5-point favorite at home tonight. So a pretty big spread there, double-digit favorite tonight. So that will definitely be exciting. And then we've got Ole Miss tomorrow afternoon.
And I want to go kind of full boxer announcer voice here.
But I think we have some delay with you. I think we've got some pretty bad delay with you. I think we'll try to maybe reconnect with you and see if we can figure that out, because we got some pretty significant delay there. So Landon, if you could maybe try to get with Brett and see if we can work that delay out. But we'll get back there. Brett obviously on the road with Ole Miss as they've got a really big game tomorrow against the Georgia Bulldogs down in Athens. We previewed it yesterday afternoon, and it's going to be a big one. This is a top 10 matchup, a game that Ole Miss won last year at home against this Georgia team, and now on the road. And we'll see if Ole Miss can remain undefeated, and would certainly be a significant win for them. But I mean, that is one of many big-time games tomorrow. We mentioned LSU and Vanderbilt. You've got third Saturday in October with Tennessee and Alabama. USC and Notre Dame going to be a good one, and unfortunately, maybe one of the last ones we will see between these two teams in this rivalry, as we could be seeing the end of that. But Brett, I think we maybe we have you back now. Are you there?
I hope so. You got me now?
Yeah, we got you now. Sounding good. So this Georgia game, you're down there in Athens.
The connection almost as bad.
Well, yeah, I was about to say it's.
I'm just outside of Athens.
Yeah, but it's a big game tomorrow, and we're going to continue to see if we can get with Brett, because we're still having some trouble there. Connection. Tigers, they're in action tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock, on the road against UAB, and we know. I don't think I mentioned it yesterday when I saw this, but we talked about this game, and obviously next week a very big week with the USF matchup. But this one against a UAB team, they've got an interim head coach, and I'm not worried about it. I know we'll probably talk about it, and the question I always get asked by Brett of if I'm worried about this game. I'm not worried on the road against UAB. I think this is a series and a game that Memphis has really controlled over the last couple of years, certainly the last 2 years since they continued playing. And I think it's going to be easy, but I loved what William Whitlow Jr., his father, on social media put out, that he was like, we can't overlook this. Don't overlook this game. You got to take it and go with, be focused for this game, because on the road, weird things can happen, but that line continues to move up in favor of the Tigers, so we'll see what they can do tomorrow afternoon in that one, and then return home undefeated, we hope, and we'll be talking a lot next week about that big-time matchup against USF with the Bulls, going to be in town next week. Well, Brett, I think we got you back now. You there?
I am. Well, I'll try to get a better connection as it proceeds. Of course, it all worked when we were testing it.
That's right. Well, Brett, that's kind of how it goes, right? When you're running through all of our mini tests, it's perfect, and then showtime, lights go on, and everything crashes.
It's been Friday all day, and I promise you, still heavyweight champion of the world is Atlanta traffic.
Yeah, I was talking with a buddy of mine last night, and he was like, he goes to Ole Miss, and he's, I'm sure, in Athens already, or in the Georgia area right now, and he's saying, we're heading out there tomorrow morning. We're gonna go to the game. He goes, we're hoping we're gonna miss the Atlanta traffic. Good luck. I don't think you're gonna miss it at any time.
Yeah, unless it's 4 in the morning or 2 in the morning, I don't think you missed it.
No. It is always busy down there with the traffic, but a really big game tomorrow afternoon. Georgia, a 7.5-point favorite. We'll certainly get a lot of picks throughout this afternoon. But Brett, we previewed this game yesterday. This is one of the biggest games tomorrow. Yeah,
it is, and a lot of people are having the show me for Ole Miss. But that's like we were talking about with Louisville and all these teams that some have looked good for a game or a half. I think Ole Miss looked good against Tulane for most of the game. But, again, you got to improve against SEC opponents. 4 one-score wins this year.
Yeah.
I mean, it could easily be a lot different record than 6-0. So the only way to prove it is to prove it.
That's right, and it's going to be a phenomenal opportunity to go out there and prove it tomorrow against the Georgia Bulldogs. We're going to talk a lot of college football the rest of the day, talk about some of these NFL games. But last night, Aaron Rodgers and Joe Flacco going at it, two of the wily vets in the NFL, and it was a wild game. 33-31, a win for the Bengals. The Steelers came out hot, got on the board quick, and then in the second quarter, 17 points for the Cincinnati Bengals team. They regained the lead back and forth the rest of the way, and Steelers scored to take the lead, left too much time on the board, and here comes Joe Flacco and this Bengals offense. We talked about it yesterday, giving him some more days, giving him a little more time. This is a guy that seems like he can get comfortable. He's like a chameleon. He can get comfortable in a lot of places, and he was really impressive last night.
What were the Browns thinking, and how mad and properly mad should the Steelers be at the Browns for just handing them, that division loss? But they also need to look in the mirror and be mad at themselves. I think some of the members of the old Steel Curtain could have played defense for the Steelers last night. What happened to the Steelers' defense? I mean, for all the questions around Aaron Rodgers going into the season, he's answered them.
Yeah, and that was the thing. I mean, both those quarterbacks were really, really good last night. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, 249 yards, 4 touchdowns. He did have 2 interceptions. Joe Flacco, 342 yards, 3 touchdowns. It was just what you said, Brett. Neither defense could stop anything. And now we know that about Cincinnati. We kind of expect that. Yeah, we expect that now with Cincinnati, that they're not going to be able to stop anything. But the Steelers defense, it really does feel like we're maybe seeing a change there. For all of these years, we've been talking about the Steelers defense, how solid it is, and this year, a couple times now, they've really struggled defensively. Now, at some points where they've struggled, it hadn't hurt them because they've been able to go out there and win. But certainly in both these losses, you can point at the defense being a real big issue, and especially on that last drive. I mean, like I said, your team just went down and scored. There's, I think a little over a minute left, a couple minutes max. And all you got to do is come up with a stop. And this Steelers team couldn't do it. Really, if the Bengals wanted to get into the end zone, they had multiple opportunities. They slowed it down and set up the last-second field goal to win it.
Yeah, played it right.
Yeah, it was a masterclass how they played that last minute. So, yeah, definitely some questions here with the Steelers defense. And I think all the questions have to go to the Browns, like you said, of, how in the world do you trade Joe Flacco and let him get over to the Bengals? And now, he shows maybe it's only a little bit, but he's still got a little bit of juice left.
Had enough, and for other teams that still have to play, the Steelers have to play a lot better teams than Cincinnati. If they can torch you like that, there's people licking their chops to play them, and I know, not fireable and not heavy, shouldn't be heavily criticized, but Mike Tomlin is not. He's not above reproach. He can be criticized like John Harbaugh is being criticized.
Yeah.
They have the very same number of Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I definitely think you can definitely point to the coach in this as well. And I think maybe you just got comfortable with a lot of these guys defensively. I don't really know what it has been with this defense, because it's a lot of familiar faces over there. But they certainly struggled last night against the Bengals. Talking about struggling up in Seattle, those Mariners. Oh man, it's something about those road teams in that series in particular. Dodgers have taken care of business, but last night it was another Toronto win, 8-2. Brett, we talked about it yesterday. All those runs that Toronto is putting up, they still got runs left in them, it seems.
And now it doesn't feel like 2-2. It feels like heavy advantage Toronto.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, and that's what's, I think, real unfortunate for the Mariners here is, you go back to Seattle up 2-0. All you got to do to just have still some momentum is just win one of these games. And now it's 2-2. They'll still have one more game in Seattle before they go back to Toronto. But yeah, it feels like it's 2-0 right now with Toronto in the lead. They have all the momentum. Really impressive what they were able to do last night. It was kind of the exact same game plan that we talked about the night before, where the Mariners get on the board early, and then here come the Blue Jays, and they never looked back. Scherzer, he was really good. He's yelling at Skip, telling him that he was staying in, and he had it. So.
Another old guy. It was old guys' night.
You know what, Brett? It really was. It was a night for the old guys, and it was a lot of fun. Well, we've got a super busy show this afternoon, so let me set it up before we get to top and not top story of the day. 3:30, Alan Bell from Driving the Line. He'll join us. We'll talk wagering with him. We'll talk a lot of NFL games, but we'll also get to some of his favorites in college as well. 3:45, we'll talk the Tigers and their road matchup down in Birmingham against UAB as the Tigers look to stay undefeated against the Blazers. 4 o'clock, Bruce Marshall from Vegas Insider and CBS Sports. He'll join us. We'll talk some more wagering with him. We'll focus on a lot of these college games with Bruce, but we'll absolutely get to a few of his favorite NFL games towards the end. 4:30, Brad Bellamy from Landers Ford. He'll join us, give us his Landers locks of the weekend. And Brett, we were texting back and forth about it last Sunday, but he came in last week and said, I'm going to try something different. NFL is tough. We're going to go with anytime touchdown props, and it was awesome. He gave us 3 2 of them hit very early, and the third one was Igbuka, who got injured, and I fully believe that if he had stayed healthy, he would have found the end zone. So we'll see if Brad Bellamy is going to go back to the well there with some player props, some touchdown props with us this afternoon. We'll talk with him at 4:30. 4:45, we'll get to big number of the day. 5 o'clock, Ty Richardson from ESPN Arkansas in Fort Smith. He'll join us. We'll talk the Razorbacks and the SEC. 5:30, we'll get to our First National Bank and Trust Friday football forecast. And at 5:45, we'll wrap up today's show like we always do with Moe's Crunch Time. Let me remind you, we're in our Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. It's the world's biggest spa sale. It's going on right now at Family Leisure. Spas starting at $29.99 and swim spas now up to 30% off. The floor model specials, they're going on as well, and head out there and purchase a cold plunge. The cold plunges are starting at $49.99. Receive a free umbrella with purchase of select patio furniture sets, and it's not too early to get ahead for next summer and get those swimming pools. Right now, Family Leisure offering the swimming pools clearance pricing. It's going on through the end of October. Buy now and save on those price increases. Special financing, it's available, but only at Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40.
We are Sportstime. We're with you until 6 o'clock, and Hotel promises me about 4 or 4:30 they're going to get me from a better connection when I can get on the Ethernet cord. We'll see. They promised that before
Fingers
I got
crossed.
here, but we'll see. He's Brian. I'm Brett. Our producer is Landon Schmidt. We're Sportstime with you till 6, and we want you to join us by texting or calling 901-360-8255. That's the Sissy's Log Cabin text and talk line. That's the best way to hit us up, is at the Sissy's Log Cabin text line. We're always from our Family Leisure Studios, wherever we are, even on a challenging Friday afternoon. We're always from our Family Leisure Studios, and we're proud of that, and we're proud of the title sponsor of this hour, and that's Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway, and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all 2025 models and always special leasing options. Call them at 901-334-9673 if they prefer you to stop by the one and only Lexus dealership in town at 2600 Ridgeway, and that's where you can put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2025 flagship LS500, and you'll be looking and driving in style. You can drive in luxury and confidence, knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and that makes for the safe luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day, it is this college football weekend. Like Brett said, it starts with some big games tonight, and we'll see the number 2 team in the country, the Miami Hurricanes, at home against Louisville. They're a double-digit favorite, and for good reason. They've looked the part all season long, but they've only played 1 game in conference. We'll see how tough this conference schedule is for them, and early on, they get, I think, a sneaky good opponent in Louisville. It's not the Louisville of last year, the year before, that was pretty much standard in the top 25 week in and week out. But this is a 4-1 team. Sometimes they look really, really good. Sometimes they really struggle. What Louisville team will we see tonight? We'll also see Nebraska out there as their head coach. He now has kind of slid into maybe number 1 for the Penn State opening. What do they look like on the road against Minnesota? But tomorrow is really when we get into it. I mentioned it earlier, these top 25 versus top 25 matchups. LSU and Vanderbilt, Ole Miss and Georgia, Tennessee and Alabama, USC, Notre Dame, even late tomorrow night, Utah and BYU. We know the Tigers on the road against UAB, looking to make it 7-0 on the season, and a massive favorite, a 20-point favorite right now. The Tigers are over UAB. So Vegas thinks they win and thinks they win really, really big. It's going to be a fun Saturday. And Brett, we talked about last week about kind of what would we learn from the weekend. I think we'll learn a little bit with these top 25 matchups, especially in the SEC. But I feel like we'll be coming back in again on Monday saying, I don't really know if we learned anything.
My top story, Memphis and Ole Miss both want to stay in that undefeated club. It's down to 11 members. Tennessee or Bama, one of the two of those teams will take a second loss.
Yeah.
A second loss on the third Saturday of October. Arkansas wants to knock A&M from that undefeated club. LSU or Vandy will take a second loss. Anybody at Vandy and LSU ever called it the same third Saturday of October?
Let's start it. We'll start it now.
Let's do. Any coffee table books for that
I don't
matchup?
think so.
State they can send Billy Napier for sure packing. I don't think there's any doubt. They may not even let him go to the locker room if State beats him. He's probably out regardless. In the state of Alabama, we know Sunday afternoon can get very interesting if Auburn's had enough of Hugh Freeze. He had that ugly loss. And if Ryan Silverfield ever leaves the University of Memphis, and he's going to be prominent in a lot of these coaching conversations this year. If he leaves Memphis and Freeze is out at Auburn, I'm serious. I'm serious about anything as I've ever said anything on these airways. The first person that mentions Hugh Freeze for the Tigers, never take them seriously on another subject again in your life.
You know what happened, though, Brett. I had that conversation with a buddy the other day. We both agreed. It's going to happen. That name's going to get... If all of that happens, that name's going to get thrown around a lot. And
That was my warning shot.
I think I'm unfortunately going to be responsible for anything that you do or say about that. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. How about that, Brett?
Not top story of the day.
That's right. Yeah, that is exactly right. Well, my not top story of the day, it's that Thursday night football game last night. The Bengals and the Steelers. We talked about it yesterday of this could get weird. It just, everything around this game felt strange with Joe Flacco already one game under his belt. The Steelers on the road against this Bengals team that has not shown much of any life. Showed a little bit of life last week in Joe Flacco's. For too many Joes at the quarterback position for this Bengals team. I'm starting to learn talking about this game, but it was a really fun matchup. The Steelers go up early, but then in the second quarter, the Bengals respond with 17 points. After that, it was back and forth the rest of the game. The Steelers drove down, scored, went ahead 31-30, and with about two and a half minutes left in the game, and all they needed to do was get a stop, but Joe Flacco did Joe Flacco things, and we even saw a read option from Joe Flacco that he kept and picked up a first down. It was incredible.
Tommy Frazier.
I mean, honestly, bro, I couldn't believe my eyes when he pulled it and started running, but really impressive stuff from him. A great play down the stretch to put them in field goal range. You had the completion to T. Higgins, and I mean, he has wide open, just grass in front of him. He decided to slide down, set up the field goal before time expired. Steelers, they got the ball back with like 4 seconds left, but not enough time to get anything going. And the Bengals, I'm reading today, I'm looking around, and people are saying, this Bengals team has life, and I didn't think anybody was going to be saying that a week ago.
Joe Flacco in the read option is, I mean, that's up there with having Peyton Manning.
Oh, I mean, very, very similar. I mean, those are in the same family of plays right there.
Also, let me be fair. I don't want anybody to feel left out. I had the warning shot about Hugh Freeze's name being from in Memphis. Same applies if Lane Kiffin takes something at Ole Miss. The first person that comes up to me seriously, I think we should bring you back. I don't want to know you. I don't want to speak to you. I don't ever want to be around you.
Yeah, that would be a difficult conversation.
My not top story: 66-year-old Joe Flacco last night on Social Security, new hip, had a hip. No, he hadn't had all that. He's gonna do the Medicare ad someday.
Ooh,
like
yeah,
Joe
he is.
doing. Another Joe, more Joe.
More Joes.
He will be doing the Medicare ad someday. Look what he did last night on Thursday Night Football, and they upset the Steelers. Is that the worst loss for the Pittsburgh Steelers since they hired Chuck Noll in 1970? I'm serious.
Whoa.
I mean, back to Bill Austin days, that was bad for them. The effort was bad. That was very un-Steeler effort. The sideline comportment was bad. And Joe Flacco, he gets the win. And now, the Steelers have to be wondering if we can't beat the Bengals, who are we going to beat?
Yeah, no, I think it was a lot of questions probably being thrown around Pittsburgh after that loss last night. Well, that'll do it for top and not top story of the day. Let's go ahead and get to our first break. And when we return, we're talking some wagering. Alan Bell from Driving the Line. He joins us next.
Add a little fun to your lunch break Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Gossett Hyundai on the Pike is relocated right down the street to 1956 Covington Pike while our new dealership gets a facelift. So come by and get relocation renovation specials. Gossett Hyundai on the Pike's got 2025 Hyundai Sonata, $293.67 a month. How about 2026 Hyundai Tucson SE? We Gossett $323.95 a month. And 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe SE? We Gossett $348.83 a month or 1.99 for 60 months available. Plus America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So hurry to...
Yeah, I'm not sure, Brett. Brett, no worries at all. We've got it all under control. You got it, Brett. Perfect. Sounds good.
Tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Stuck in a job that just isn't getting it done? Maybe it's time to go for IT. Whether you're just starting out, switching careers, or a military veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you launch a rewarding career in IT in months. No prior experience needed. Why spend years getting a traditional degree when your future in IT can start right now? Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Your most powerful upgrade? Your career. Go for it. Go for IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Since 1948, in the alley, the Rendezvous. I'm with John Burgos. John, what's going on in the Rendezvous?
Brett, after 76 years, we've decided to expand our product line. Anyone who's tasted our ribs is familiar with our vinegar-based. It's now available in a 32-ounce jar. It's so good to baste or marinate all meats. I even put a little bit on turnip greens. Something we've been using at the restaurant or at our house has been the Greek seasoning. My father was a cook, but my mother was a chef. And she was the one that put Greek seasoning on everything from a Mediterranean diet or a steak. My mom used it on soup, salad, veggies, fish, any meats. It's a great seasoning and a flavor enhancer. My brother Nick figured out salt and pepper was more than just McCormick's and Morton's. He's come up with a perfect blend we use to coat our shoulders and our brisket, and he used to make it for his friends as Christmas gifts, and they loved it. All these products are available at the Rendezvous or online for shipping as gifts and in many grocery stores. And if they're not in your favorite grocery store, ask your grocer to stock it.
A beloved family affair and still going strong since 1948, the Rendezvous.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. It's got a little bit heavier in certain parts of Midtown. Here in the last few minutes, it's trying to build southbound on 240, especially around Norris, as traffic picks up already 240 on the 385. Watch for radar over in parts of Arkansas this afternoon, traveling down I-40, certain parts there as you head on out towards Forest City. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry wants you to know they are your full-service, family-owned jewelry store here in Memphis, so check them out this weekend. Shop local here at Weimer's Jewelry on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck, your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Brian Landon with you. Brett, if you were listening to the first segment, we had some connection issues with him. He's down in Athens, right outside of Athens, for the Ole Miss Georgia game tomorrow. So he's currently trying to figure out if he can get connected. They are working with him. He's working with people, and hopefully, I think the plan is that they're going to try to have it back up and running sometime in our second hour. So hopefully
he'll get it figured out.
Hopefully he'll rejoin us, and we'll get him back on with us. But right now, you got Bryant and Landon with you, and you got Alan Bell from Driving the Line. He joins us now. Talk some picks. Alan, thanks so much for joining us. Man, what did you make of last night's game? Brett said earlier that it was a great night for the old guys, and that's kind of what we got in that football game last night.
Man, it sure was. First, I appreciate you being back. And, yeah, no stats. Hey, we got substitute teacher rules going. They're
right.
good to go. Yeah. No, man, it was, what an awesome game. And you know what? We did get to see two veterans out there slinging it around, man. And shout out to the Bengals. Shout out to Joe Flacco. And, dude, there's something powerful if you just believe. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If you just believe, man, good things can happen.
Yeah, it's incredible what he's been able to do time and time again at this age. And, when I saw him pull that read option and start running it, I didn't know where I was at. I thought I was dreaming. That was one of the most remarkable plays because of who he is and because of his age. And in that moment, to pull that and run it and pick up the first down, that was incredible.
Oh, it was, dude. And you know what? Flacco, he's a foxhole guy. You know what I mean? Like, that was for the young guys saying, dude,
yep.
Look, the veterans out here, dude, just running. You know, he's pulling it and running. We got to step it up. It was awesome. I'm right there with you. I was in love watching that game.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Let's get into some of these games this weekend, and let's start with the early morning game. Sunday morning, another London game, part of the international series. The Rams and the Jaguars, and it seems like the Jaguars, we know they play a lot of games in London. They play a lot of games overseas. Brett had the number earlier this week, exactly how many times they've played overseas, but it's by far the most in the NFL. But they're the underdogs in this game. The Rams, a 3.5-point favorite, the total at 44.5. What do you like bright and early Sunday morning?
Give me the Jaguars. This is a home game.
Yep.
They play two in in London every year, and they have no problem. The Rams, they're going across 6 time zones, man. Like, that's a far travel from Los Angeles all the way to London, and they're kind of due for one. I think the Jaguars win this game outright, but if you give me plus 3.5, I'm going to take that plus 3.5. Yeah, give me the Jaguars to cover all day.
I like that.
Alan, while we're talking the NFL, I would be remiss as a Titans fan if I didn't ask you about the extreme breaking news that we got earlier this week about the dismissal of our former head coach, Brian Callahan, right in time for the Patriots and Mike Vrabel to come right back in town and kind of show us what we're doing wrong. What did you make of that Brian Callahan news, and what should we expect from this game?
Yeah, man. You know, after that Houston game, he was kind of a dead man walking, right? And
I think so.
And the hard part is that, but Brian Callahan seems like a great guy. You know, it's just you couldn't get any read on Cam Ward or anybody. I mean, literally, the Titans weren't even scoring points. You know, so they had to do something. The hard part is that, well, you got Mike McCoy, and if Mike McCoy had the answer, they'd already done it. You know what I mean? So I don't know what to expect there, but we'll see, man. Who do you think should be the next coach? Like, I don't even know where I'd go with that. Like, any names that you're hearing so far this month?
Yeah, there's been a handful out there. I think the two front runners that I've heard the most are Cliff Kingsbury. I think they believe he's grown up a lot and done really well under Dan Quinn over at Washington. And then a lot of people are saying that Mike McCarthy's still got a lot in the tank, that maybe we see a Titans-McCarthy, little thing going on. There's been a lot of people, and I cannot disagree with it more, that want John Gruden to come out. But with all that stuff going on between Gruden and the NFL, I don't want Gruden near the NFL or the Titans right now. So he's off the table for me. I know there's a few other coordinators out there. I just want the best guy who's going to develop Cam Ward well, who's going to let Cam Ward play and throw the ball and stick with this team and turn them around, because that's exactly what we need.
Yeah, agreed. And the thing with Callahan, man, is he was young, and being a head coach, it's a completely different job than being, a great offensive coordinator. So I'm with you, on a guy like Cliff Kingsbury. Sometimes, man, it takes a little failure in life to figure out how to succeed in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So definitely get that. It sounds like it's going to be offensive coach, so that would
I
make
think
sense.
so.
But yeah, going to be interesting to follow along as it goes.
So this game now that you've got an interim head coach in there, you've got your former head coach back in Nashville. Right now, Patriots a 6.5-point favorite on the road. The total 42.5. What do you like in this game? A lot of eyes will be on it.
The Patriots. If you're a Titans fan, you
Good
might
call.
just want to have you might want to have something else to do on Sunday. It's a good day to do that because Mike Vrabel's going to come for that pelt on the wall, and maybe rightfully so. Vrabel's going to come to get his. Take the Patriots. Don't overthink it.
A game that I think you're probably only watching. I guess if you have money on it, I don't know how many people will be watching this game on Sunday. The Panthers, who are 3-3, they're playing 500 ball, got the win over my Dallas Cowboys last week against the 0-6 Jets. Not two of the marquee teams in the NFL right now. Carolina on the road, a 1.5-point favorite. The total 41.5. Alan, give me a reason to watch this game. What do you like here?
Watch it because the Jets are going to get their first win of the year.
Right.
All right. Yeah, I'm taking the Jets here. I think that they do it. The Panthers are a good team at home. When they have to go on the road, it looks completely different. And the Jets are a disaster. Well, let's be completely clear on that. But it's the NFL. They're not going to go 0-17. I think the Jets get the job done.
I like it a lot. Colts and Chargers, two teams that are playing really well to start the season. It is in California, so LA is a 1.5-point favorite. Total 48.5. What do you like in this one?
Look, man, the Colts are playing great football, and if you're betting them, continue to do so. That being said, the Chargers have to win this game. I think there's going to be gross. I think they're going to try to muddy this thing up. These two teams are fantastic, but this might be an ugly game by design, if that makes sense. Take the Chargers here. I'm telling you, they have to win this game. Have to.
The Giants are on the road against the Broncos, a 4-2 Broncos team. Denver, a 7.5-point favorite. Total 40.5. What do you like here?
Yeah, so I'm going to be honest. I like the under in this game. Now, I like Denver. I'm not going to play 7.5. If it were the Broncos 6.5, I'd be in. But 7.5, man, you can get trapped in that hook. I love what the Giants are doing. And Cam Scatterbo, Jackson Dart, all of it, man. Like, it's awesome. But this Broncos team is for real, and they're getting better by the week. It's not going to be a good matchup for the Giants here. Take the Broncos if you want to, but get that number 6.5. But take the under.
Yeah.
There's not going to be a lot of points scored here.
Yeah. Sunday Night Football, Falcons and 49ers, two weird teams. The Falcons have looked good this year. They're 3-2. The 49ers, despite all of their injuries, they keep finding ways to win. San Francisco, a 2.5-point favorite at home. The total 47.5. What do you like in this one?
Yeah, you know what? I like the Falcons. I think that they are finding something else about them and who they want to be as a team. And the 49ers, they know who they are. They're just so banged up, man. Like, they're just always injured. Give me Atlanta here. I think that they're feeling it. I think they ride up a big win last week.
Is there a favorite you have in the NFL that we haven't gotten to before we get over to college?
It's the Patriots. Yeah, just don't overthink it. Yeah, unfortunately.
I think that's probably smart there. Over in college, we've got a really busy week and a lot of really fun games. Let's start with the game that Brett's at this weekend. Down in Athens, Ole Miss on the road against Georgia, 2:30 on ABC. The Bulldogs, a 7.5-point favorite, the total 57.5. What do you like in this one?
Way too many points for Georgia here. They might win the game, but 7.5, Ole Miss is good. Look, I think Ole Miss wins the game outright, honestly. Like, I think that they're better than Georgia. But the problem is that you have to go do it, and you have to do it for 60 minutes, right? Like, Kirby Smart, they're a team that does not shy away from playing from behind. But give me Ole Miss plus 7.5. It's too many points. Yeah, I'll take them.
Another top 25 matchup, LSU in Nashville against Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, a favorite in this game, minus 1.5. The total 47.5. Who wins this game?
LSU, because they have to win this game. They have to, man. And look, we're not saying anything negative about Vanderbilt. There's a reason why Vanderbilt is the favorite. You know what I'm saying? And it's more than just because they're at home. They're a good football team, man, and they play without risk because they're not afraid. So LSU, you're going to have to, be not conservative offensively, but LSU has to win this game. So, yeah, give me the Tigers.
Third Saturday in October, Tennessee on the road against Alabama. Alabama, a 7.5-point favorite, total 59.5. What do you like in this matchup?
Yeah, too many points for Alabama, 7.5, and I would say that in a lot of big games, just because the books put that 7.5 for a reason, because it's on the other side of the hook. But Alabama, I do believe, is the better football team. Tennessee's excellent. Now, I think the highest scoring average team in the country. But the problem with Tennessee is that their defense, man. Yeah. The defense getting gashed and just by anybody, and Alabama's going to be able to run the football. So I think it's actually going to be a pretty low-scoring game. Even though these two offenses are fantastic, it's going to be an old-school one. But, yeah, give me Bama here. I'll take the 7.5. Don't love being on the side of the hook, but Bama is the better team.
Any other games you like in college football this weekend?
Man, so you asked a great question here, and I'm going to be honest with you. All right, I am so fascinated with what we do with Georgia Tech. I like them getting plus 1.5. And then what do we do with this Missouri and Auburn game over 43.5? I like that. And tonight, Miami-Louisville over 50.5. Let's go.
All right. I like it a lot there. You talked about that Auburn-Missouri game. What are we feeling about Hugh Freeze right now? There's some chatter around him and maybe his future, and then kind of the same down at Florida. And it sounds like with Billy Napier, there are some reports out there, some rumors out there that win or lose, he could be out by Sunday. Where are you at with those two head coaches?
Well, if that were me, I'd say, just go ahead and fire me, man. I'm not going to coach the game. What do you want me to do here? And also, from a bettor's perspective, the fact that they're talking about firing Napier this weekend means Florida's going to cover. So there you go. Just to make it fully confusing for everybody. But, I think it's too early on Hugh Freeze, man. Give him some time. He's a good football coach. Auburn's getting better. Their schedule's been ridiculous, man. I think give him some freeze. But Napier, give him some time to freeze. Give him some time. But Napier, no. It's time. Go ahead and cut that bait. Cut it now.
Yeah, feels like only a matter of time. Well, Alan, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll do it again next Friday.
Man, look forward to it, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Have a good one.
Thanks, Alan. Alan Bell joining us from Driving the Line. I talk about it all the time, but go and check out what they're doing over at Driving the Line, a daily show. I believe a couple daily shows. I think they do one in the morning and in the afternoon. Usually I think the afternoon show is going on while we're doing shows, so I don't get to watch it.
I see the Twitter pop-ups.
Yeah. So, I think what they do, because I watch a lot of the time in the mornings, and so I think what they do is it's kind of like, hey, here's what we like, but we're also going to keep looking at stuff. Come back this afternoon, and we'll really hammer down these bets. So they do some really nice stuff over there. So go watch their stuff over. You can find them on YouTube. You can find them on social media at Driving the Line. Well, we need to get to another break. When we return, we got to talk about the Tigers and their matchup on the road tomorrow afternoon against UAB. We're talking about that next on Sports Time.
Not only can you listen to your favorite shows on Sports 56, you can also watch video of the shows live on Twitter and YouTube. Watch and listen every day at Sports 56 WHBQ.
You know what I love about Central Barbecue?
They pay you to do their radio commercials.
Well, yeah, but what I really love about Central Barbecue is I'm proud to do their radio commercials.
Really? You should put more effort into it.
I'm proud to represent the very best barbecue in Memphis, and therefore the best barbecue in the world. Wait, what'd you say?
Nothing. I'm proud to do the Central Barbecue ads, too. Believe me, I've done some ads for companies that really weren't the very best in their business.
I know the ones you're talking about.
No, you don't. That was a long time ago.
If you say so. But doing ads for Central Barbecue means being able to say, honestly, it's a great product at a great price.
With lots of great locations.
Hey everybody, it's Chevy Truck Month, which means every new and pre-owned Silverado you want is right here in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet. New 26 Silverados as low as 1.9 for 72 months and no payment till next year. New 26 Equinox as low as 1.9 and no payment till next year. Yes, your new 26 All-Star Chevy Silverado or Equinox can be payment-free through Christmas and New Year's, and your good credit deserves it. Military and first responders, you get an extra $500 bonus. vehicles. And if you want a certified barely driven Chevy, All-Star is spot on. Come check out this huge, and I'm talking huge, selection of certified Chevys and the hottest pre-owned vehicles. It's all right here in Olive Branch at All-Star. And if you got any vehicle you want to sell, bring it here to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch and get the most money for it today. Together, let's drive. Don't miss the final Chevy Truck Month sale going on right now in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet, or go to allstarautogroup.com.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
The Drive into Fall event means it's time to save big at Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat on the Pike. 2026 Jeep Compass Latitude $52.24 off MSRP, or 2025 Dodge Hornet GT $78.33 off MSRP, or both just $281.86 a month. 2025 Grand Cherokee 4-wheel drive $86.90 off MSRP, now $35,230. And 2025 Ram 1500 Tradesman Crew Cab 5.7 box rear-wheel drive $11,631 off MSRP, or $467.42 a month, plus 0% for 72 months available. So drive past the rest and come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat, online GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motorcars.
1500 SN 711,999, MSRP 50,710. Cherokee S871 5236, MSRP 43,920. Latitude TT 159,340, MSRP 32,815. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 895. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 10/30/2025 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Landon with you. Brett gonna get back with us a little bit later.
Only for a little bit.
I think we're shooting for somewhere in the second hour. I think they're going to be able to fix the problem. He's going to be able to get back on with us. He's down with Ole Miss football. Getting ready for this Georgia game tomorrow. But we have to talk about the game tomorrow between Memphis and UAB, a road game for the Tigers, the number 22nd ranked Memphis Tigers on the road against a UAB team that will be playing for an interim coach tomorrow, as they made the decision last Sunday to fire Trent Dilfer, who's been their head coach the last couple of seasons. This UAB team 2-4 on the season. It started with a win against Alabama State, a loss at Navy, a win against Akron, and now 3 straight losses at Tennessee, home against Army, and then last week at FAU. A lot of people remember Memphis and FAU. That is the one similar opponent on both teams' schedule. Memphis, it was a weird game in the first half, led by one, ended up dominating in the second half, and FAU absolutely dominated UAB 53-33. In terms of the Tigers and UAB in this series, Memphis has won the last 3 games, so they're on a 3-game win streak, and they've won all of those games by an average of 32 points. So they have not been close at all. I think when I was looking at it, it was like 37, 35, and 24, So it has been all Memphis the last 3 years. Now, it was the last 2 seasons, and then the last time they played was, back it had been a good minute since they had played before then. So 3 wins in a row for the Tigers. We'll see if they can do it again. We talked yesterday with Greg Gaston talking about the run defense for UAB. I'll be completely honest, I watched a little bit of the Navy game, but the first game of the season against Alabama State was really the only time I've sat down and watched a lot of UAB. And granted, first game of the season, they could not stop anything, especially on the ground. Alabama State was running it all over them. And this is something that we brought up with Greg yesterday. In all of their games, all 6 of UAB's games this season, the opponent has ran for 141 yards or more. And in 4 of those 6 games, the opponent has ran for 200 or more yards. So you got to think the Tigers should have a good afternoon on the ground. Certainly does. Now, I think Greg Gaston talked about it yesterday of you kind of looked at Tulsa, and you could say the same thing about Tulsa going into that game 2 weeks ago for the Tigers, that Tulsa had really struggled against the run, and they were completely bought in of we are going to stop the run. And Memphis saw that. And so instead of trying to force the run over and over again, they said, well, I mean, you're stacking the box, you're leaving all of the space open to our receivers. We're just going to go and start throwing it around. That's what they did, and they made it look easy against Tulsa. So I would not be surprised if we saw something similar where UAB comes in and says, look, and I think a lot of teams will do it this year, where they say, look, this Memphis team is really, really good at running the ball. We've got to go all out and stopping that. Now, there's some teams that will have success doing that. There's some teams that are not going to have success doing that. And I think you could see that maybe tomorrow against UAB, because it really does not look like they have any type of answers for the run game.
So I'll be Brett. Scale of 1 to 10, how scared are you?
I'm not scared at all. I am.
So like a 3.
Yeah,
4.
it means I'm terrified of the game tomorrow. Yeah. No. Look, I think 2 things can be true at once. I am not scared. I think Memphis wins tomorrow, and I think they win pretty easily. I'll go ahead and tell you right now. Here in a couple hours, we're going to do our Friday football forecast. And we're going to pick the Memphis game, and I'm picking Memphis. So, I mean, if I'm comfortable taking them as
go against them
sure,
at this point.
I mean, they're undefeated against the spread. So if I'm going to take them as a 20-point favorite, yeah. Wait, what did I say?
Undefeated against the spread.
Oh, yeah.
And on the season.
They are, yeah. So 6-0 against the spread, 6-0 overall. But if I'm going to take them as a 20-point favorite, I'm not worried about this game. But... and I think I've said this a couple times now, because there's been a couple of trap scenarios, quote-unquote trap scenarios on the schedule. I wouldn't be surprised, and we talked about it with the FAU game and what happened. Memphis comes out against FAU, and they look super slow. They struggle in the first half, and they end up going into the locker room at halftime only up 1 point. I would not be surprised. Now, I do think FAU is a better team. I mean, look, they just played. You can see the result. Yeah. Very clearly, they're a better team. So I don't know if I'm saying they're going to go into the locker room tomorrow only up by 1 point, or it's going to be super scary, but I would not be surprised at all if maybe it's a slow start tomorrow for the Tigers, and we kind of see them start out slow. I can also see it the flip side of them coming out, really strong, really fast, because we know what next week will be. Like we have not spent, and I'm glad we haven't. We have not spent a lot of time this week talking about next week's game. Plenty of time next week to talk about the game against South Florida, and talking to my buddies and talking to people I know, and kind of seeing what people are saying online. It seems like a lot of people are just looking forward to next week's game. I don't know if you heard what I was saying. I know you were trying to work with Brett to try to see if we could get him back on in that first segment. But William Whitlow Jr., the big-time defensive player for the Tigers, his father, I saw he post on Twitter either yesterday or the day before, and said something along the lines of, like, I don't care how big of a game next week is. This Tiger team, Tiger fan base has to be focused on the game that is right in front of them against UAB, because, and he was kind of like, are we really that good where we don't have to worry about an opponent? And I think some people kind of looking at the comments were reading it as, well, yeah, Memphis is a really good team. Like, what are you trying to say? You don't think they're that good? I don't think that's what he's trying to say. I think he's saying there's no team in the country that should be overlooking any opponent on their schedule. We've seen it time and time again. That's how you get in trouble. So I think 2 things can be true of. I'm not worried about tomorrow's game, but also I want to see how they come out, and do they come out ready to go, or is it kind of another slow start that feels like we've talked about a couple of times with this team this season?
Yeah, and I think I really think that's the only thing that we truly do have to worry about, is because we already had all the fixings for a trap game, and when we beat Arkansas and came out the next week, I think a lot of people thought, all right, we're high off of that win, we're carrying a lot of momentum, and then I believe it was last year's that's when we faltered. So there's definitely something different in the air about this Memphis team. We seem a lot more focused. It seems that this Memphis team truly truly knows what's coming next week, but they also know we have a game tomorrow to deal with first. And I don't think they're going to overlook that. And like we've been saying all week and even today, is that UAB is allowing about 41.3 points per game on defense. And it doesn't matter how good you think your offense is. If your defense is allowing that many points per game, and Memphis has a high tendency to score a lot, run a lot, and has no problem finding the end zone, I don't think you're going to have any worries here. But like you were saying, the really only worry is if we exit the first quarter and the score is only like 10-7 and people are like, oh boy, here comes trap game. And then second quarter and the rest of the game comes around, Memphis will find their footing. So
I think so.
Truly, we got to get past Saturday to get to next Saturday. But I think this is a different Memphis team and that we're going to take care of business.
Definitely. And I said it yesterday. I'll say it again today. My prediction for tomorrow's game, Memphis gets the win, and both Greg DeWossier and Sutton Smith both go over 100 yards. I know Jonah Dillon said that for the Tulsa game a couple weeks ago, so I'm stealing it from him. But you look at this UAB defense, and I think they are really going to struggle against Memphis's offense. You add Brendan Lewis in there, could be a really nice game on the ground. Well, we need to get to a break here in a second, but before we do that, when you think of Memphis, you think of barbecue. And you can get that world-famous Memphis-style barbecue any night at the Commissary. Awarded the best barbecue in the city by the Commercial Appeal's Best Barbecue in Memphis 2025 Bracket Showdown, visit either location in Germantown and Collierville for lunch or dinner. Stop in at the Collierville location and try the new all-you-can-eat buffet. Available Monday through Friday, pick and choose between 3 proteins, 5 sides, a salad, and a drink, all for just $15.95. For more than 40 years, the Commissary has been a staple in this area, and a big part is because of the quality of food they serve. My go-to, it's got to be the ribs, but it's hard to resist the barbecue shoulder. Get it chopped or pulled and get it by the plate or by the pound. Comes in handy with the sandwich packs. Feed the whole group with a 6-pack, 8-pack, even a 12-pack. And don't forget about that delicious dessert, like the delicious banana pudding, brownie, or the lemon icebox pie. Check out the entire menu and catering options at commissarybbq.com. Whether it's a watch party for your favorite team or maybe you're out tailgating, let the Commissary cater your next event. It's hard to believe, but the holidays are right around the corner, so let the Commissary help with those events as well. They can cater any size party for you, and you can check out their private party rooms, perfect for any holiday celebration. And for Thanksgiving, the Commissary smokes up the perfect turkey or spiral ham. It's never too early to order and get on that list. Stop in today at either location in Germantown, open daily till 8 p.m., and in Collierville, open till 9 p.m. for that world-famous Memphis-style barbecue at the Commissary. Well, let's grab a break, and when we return, we're talking more wagering as we'll be talking with Bruce Marshall. He joins us next.
It's Landers Truck and SUV season at Landers Ford in Collierville. New F-150s with incredible lease offers, plus Explorer and Expedition with X-Plan demo priced offers. The price you see is the price you pay. No hidden addendums. That's the Landers difference and what's made us the #1 Ford dealer in Greater Memphis. Inventory is moving fast. Get into a new F-150 or check out Explorer and Expedition X-Plan demo priced offers at Landers Ford in Collierville. Need to get out of your current vehicle? We're paying top dollar for trades. Keep the cash or use it to upgrade and save even more on your upgrade. Find out how much your trade is worth and get started buying online now with our Landers Easy Pass at LandersFordMemphis.com or give us a call to schedule your test drive today. Landers Ford in Collierville. Remember, if it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
As reported on Ford's 2024 total new vehicle retail sales report, Memphis market. Price tax, title license, and $6.95 processing fee. See dealer for complete details. Offer ends 11/3/25.
Step up your wings game at East Coast Wings and Grill. With over 60 wing flavors and 7 heat indexes, do you have what it takes to turn the heat on your wings up to insanity? East Coast Wings and Grill is family friendly with a large variety menu to satisfy the whole bunch.
Sign up today for their loyalty program and taste the rewards. For every $1 you spend, you collect a point. Earn 100 points and receive a $5 reward. Next to Lowe's off Highway 64 in Bartlett, come try America's best wings at East Coast Wings and Grill.
Hey, this is Erin with Millington Weight Loss and Wellness. Are you struggling with your weight loss journey? At Millington Weight Loss and Wellness, we have our new Evolve X treatments that melts the fat, tightens the skin, and works the muscles all in the same treatment. And it's on a Summer Blast sale for $100. That's a $300 savings. We also have our GLP-1 semaglutide and trizepatide, NAD+, ProTrim Plus, and B12 lipo injections. Millington Weight Loss and Wellness is located off of Highway 51 in Millington, behind Palps Barbecue. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram. Call us at 901-436-0272. We look forward to helping you with your weight loss journey.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawa Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawa is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Steady flow of traffic right now, making its way 51 northbound up through the Woodstock area towards Millington. A little bit of radar earlier out on I-40 in certain parts of Fayette County. Just be careful as you go past 269 there around New Airline Road, working your way out through that section of Fayette County. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry, your full-service, family-owned jewelry store. Stop by and see them this weekend and shop local, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, with John Harden, weekdays from 11 to 1. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers, Ford, and Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Friday this afternoon. We started the show with the Ole Miss fight song. There's the Georgia fight song as they've got the big one tomorrow afternoon. But joining us now to talk some more wagering, we do it at this time every single Friday afternoon. It's Bruce Marshall.
Joining the guys every Friday is college football historian and Vegas legend Bruce Marshall from Vegas Insiders, CBS Sports, and his own website, bamsports.net. With over 30 years on Memphis radio, with handicapping and sports talk, here's Bruce Marshall with Bryant and Brett.
Bruce Marshall joins us now to talk some wagering from Vegas Insider and CBS Sports. And Bruce, before we get to any of these games this weekend, what did you make of Penn State making the change with James Franklin? And then what did you make of the news yesterday after Curt Cignetti became one of the hot names? Indiana got out in front and gave him an extension.
Well, let me tell you, it's been a crazy week. By the way, I had a dream that I was eating at the Rendezvous.
Ooh, that's a good dream.
That's the sort of week it's been. That's where my mind is sort of at. I'm ready for my next meal and ready to come back to Memphis. So we'll see. Franklin, Bryant, I don't know that I've ever seen something unravel so quickly. If you mentioned that to me 3 weeks ago, you said, Bruce, what would you do if I told you 3 weeks from now, this is right before the Oregon game, that James Franklin will be fired in 3 weeks? You know, I would have said, "Oh my God, no way." But we're in a period here where I dare say, what are we up to? 9, 10 coaches been replaced. You know, and if you count, Stanford, well before the season, there's another one. We could have 20 of these things before we get to the end of the season. And I was talking to Brett this week, texting with him. I mean, this is something that used to be these mid-season dismissals. Used to be something really limited to the NFL. Now you don't see too many of those. We did get one with the Titans last week, but it's now a college thing. And I was telling Brad, and we were discussing it, and I said, I don't remember a handful of these things long ago. Ole Miss did that when they ran out Billy and Bruiser Kennard after they lost to Memphis State in '73. Brought in Johnny Vaught, came back in and replaced them both. Glorious return. That's the closest thing to a military coup in college sports history, by the way, at Ole Miss. But not too many of those. Frank Kush got pushed out in the middle of '79 at Arizona State. Now, there was a lawsuit from one of his former players, a punter named Kevin Rutledge, who said Kush had roughed him up, and that was sort of Kush couldn't get out of that one, and he had to be relieved. And midway that year, Jack Crow got the boot from Frank Bowles at Arkansas after the opener in '92. They lost that game to the Citadel. So it didn't happen that much. But, I mean, it's just happening so much now, and it really doesn't surprise me when you think about it. Signetti, the only thing that surprised me is I'm not sure if Jimmy Sexton is his agent or not, but, I mean, that's a Sexton sort of contract with him. And I figured to talk Signetti at this stage of his career, when you get over 60 and you're making, pretty good money like he was, even in James Madison, but at Indiana, you're not that anxious to make a move. He's got it going well there. They're willing to do almost anything to win because now they are winning in football, which they have never done, and they're not winning in basketball anymore like they used to. I totally get it with Signetti. Good for him. I like to see guys on the other side of 60 here getting those big contracts. Good for him.
Absolutely. No, it was definitely good news for him and could certainly be good news for Indiana moving forward. Well, let's get into some of these games, and let's start with tonight. A good slate of games tonight. 4 games, including number 2, Miami, number 25, Nebraska, North Carolina on the road in California. Do you like anything out of these 4 games that we've got on the slate tonight?
I do, Brian. A little bit Louisville here. I think that was a very misleading score against Virginia a couple weeks ago. Virginia had 2 defensive touchdowns in that game. Louisville well outgained the Cavs. Should not have lost that game. I think they're pretty live here tonight. I like Miller Moss. I like the weapons they've got. And Miami, I know they've looked good, but at some point, I think Miami's going to start having trouble, and that has been their pattern. In recent years, certainly was last year. They started to lose momentum about midseason. This might be closer than you think. The one I like more tonight, Bryant, is that you mentioned the Cornhuskers. This number has come down. They're at Minnesota tonight. It was 9.5 earlier in the week, and I released this as a pick at 9.5 up on Sportsline in VI earlier in the week. But Minnesota, listen, they didn't play last year. The 5 previous years they played, and they did play 5 previous years, P.J. Fleck won and covered each one of those games. I think Nebraska, for some reason, is just getting overrated here. They're not covering spreads. They're very fortunate to escape last week against Maryland on the road. They did not cover against Michigan State. I don't know that Michigan is that great. They lost at home to them. There seems to be a real desire on the part of the national media for Nebraska. They do this with Florida State, too. Get them back up there. It has been so long since Nebraska was relevant, and now you're throwing into the mix here the rumors about Rule and Penn State. I'm not sure I believe all that, but they're talking about it. That could be a distraction. Yeah. And Raiola, they had a lot of trouble protecting him, especially the Michigan and Michigan State games, like 12 sacks over those 2 games. And he was under pressure last week a lot, too. If Drake Lindsey, the redshirt freshman quarterback at Minnesota, has put up some rather decent numbers, if he doesn't implode tonight, Minnesota's going to keep this thing close. So I would take the Golden Gophers, even 7.5. Hey, I'd rather have 9.5, but I'll take him 7.5 as well.
I like it. Let's get into some of these big games tomorrow, and let's start with a game in Nashville because it is kind of blown my mind seeing a Vanderbilt team favored over LSU. Earlier in the week, they were a 2.5 point favorite. Now it's down to Vanderbilt as a 1.5 point favorite at home against LSU. What do you like in this game?
Well, this is about as rare as a blue moon. More than that. I got records back to like 1953, point spread records, and I can't find one year where Vanderbilt was favored over LSU. Now, They haven't played every year, but this is rare, and I dare say you probably go back into the late 40s, and Red Sanders was at Vanderbilt. Since they've been favored, but it is a rare year, a rare autumn in Nashville. This is the first time also Vandy has been in the rankings 4 straight weeks. That has never happened in my lifetime. And So this is rare. They've had a week off after the Bama game. I think they had Bama on the ropes there, and I thought Clark Lee pulled right before halftime. They went in that soft zone, up 14-7. It allowed Bama to march the field really quick at the end of the first half, and Simpson got them that touchdown. The second half was one-way traffic for Bama. But before that, Vandy was playing them tough. I still think that Vandy is for real. I have got questions about LSU, especially this offense, and this is not news. Everybody's been talking about it. They are not scoring points. They have not scored more than 23 against an FBS foe this year. That was La Tech. They haven't scored more than 20 in the SEC. They are winning mostly. They didn't win the Ole Miss the game at the Ole Miss, but they're facing some of these. Blake Baker's defense has played pretty well, but I think something's wrong with South Carolina's offense. We know Florida's got problems. Pavia will make plays tomorrow. I'm taking Vanderbilt 24-17. I think they win. I have not been that impressed with LSU. Certainly not Garrett Nussmeier. He's right along there with Arch, all that Heisman hype. We're not hearing about that anymore because he has not performed.
Yeah. Oh man, it'll be a lot of questions about LSU if they lose this one to Vanderbilt. Tomorrow afternoon, Ole Miss and Georgia, a top 10 matchup in Athens. Right now, the Bulldogs a 7.5-point favorite. The total 57.5. What do you like in this game?
Yeah, I think that total's a little high. I don't think they're going to get that many points tomorrow. Georgia's defense really picked it up in the second half last week. Now, I thought they caught a break against Auburn. I thought Jackson Arnold probably scored. But it was one of those things where, to get conclusive evidence to overturn it on the replay, they couldn't do it, apparently, although most angles look like he was in. And that's one of those, if they called that a TD, they certainly wouldn't have overturned it the other way, and that would have put Auburn up 17-0. Give Georgia credit. They took complete control in the second half and made Auburn look bad. So they're coming in with some momentum. That's now also 2 straight point spread covers after Kirby really had some trouble covering numbers since the start of last year. A little bit of momentum there. I like Gunnar Stockton. He seems to be able. He's a lot of Stetson Bennett in him. He's not the same style, not the pro style like Carson Beck or Stafford or some of these other guys at Georgia. He's more like Bennett, but that's okay. They won 2 national titles with Bennett. This is a big revenge game. Last year, Lane got Kirby in Oxford. A little bit of rain in that game. Georgia, that probably could have been more than 28-10. Ole Miss had to kick 5 field goals in that game. They probably could have scored more. They really controlled the game. That was the worst loss, biggest loss Kirby's had since 2019. So the handful of losses they've had the last 5 years have been usually pretty close. That one really wasn't a close game. So you got the revenge angle. It's his first road start for Chambliss tomorrow. He has done everything asked of him thus far, but this is a little bit different. I'm going to lean to Kirby tomorrow a little bit, and I got the score at 30-19. So I think Georgia. I also think it stays under 57.5. Looks too high to me.
I like it. Third Saturday in October tomorrow down in Tuscaloosa, Tennessee and Alabama. Alabama 7.5-point favorite. The total 59.5. What do you like in this one?
Yeah, I'm kind of going into some favorites here because I guess Vandy was a favorite and
Georgia was
Georgia favorite. And I'm actually leaning to Bama a little bit here. I like the way the season is unfolding here for Bama. I mean, they got that bad game out of their system early, and they dealt with a lot of hooey from the fans and the national media. Simpson isn't up to it, and after the Florida State game, but that was a one-off, and that can happen in an opener. They have made improvements since then. Certainly Simpson has made improvement, and even though that turned into, it's a 3-point win at Mizzou last week, I think that was a good result. Missouri is good, and going out on the road, they've now won 2 in a row on the road at Georgia and Mizzou. My goodness, Alabama, that is quite an accomplishment. Now they're at home at Tuscaloosa. Since DeBoer got there, they have not found any banana peels. They've been winning at home, and I have some questions about Tennessee defensively here. I've seen some teams move a little bit too easily against them. I mean, even Gunnar Stockton. I mean, he looked like Patrick Mahomes in that game last month at Knoxville for Georgia. So I think Simpson can do some business here. Aguilar will keep Tennessee close for a while, but this is another revenge spot. Alabama lost last year at Knoxville. In fact, they've lost the last 2 at Knoxville. So good for Josh for that. But they ain't winning at Tuscaloosa. They haven't won there in a long, long time. So I'm going to go Alabama again here, maybe a little higher scoring, 41-27. So that would also be well over the total. But I think Alabama is on the move.
I like it. The Memphis Tigers, they're on the road tomorrow at UAB. UAB will be playing under an interim head coach. They made the switch from Trent Dilfer last weekend. Right now, Memphis a 21.5-point favorite on the road. Memphis has covered every spread so far this season. Anything you like down in Birmingham tomorrow?
Yeah, I would only give Memphis a look here. Here I'm in another favorite. There are some underdogs I like this week, but not UAB. Yeah, you're right. 6-0 against the number. Only there, and then there were 2, Texas Tech and Memphis, the only 2 remaining undefeated teams against the number. The UAB thing did not surprise me. I was a little surprised Dilfer even came back for this year because his original plan completely went off track there. He brought a lot of his staff from the high school in Nashville area. It was a very bold move there, risky move by UAB. But once Dilfer started to change his staff, and then he was in the portal with everybody, so the original blueprint was gone before this year. So I'm not surprised UAB's falling on its face here. And Memphis, I'll tell you what, the fourth quarter of the FAU game, when the Owls sort of got within striking distance, and then Memphis just completely took charge of that game. The confidence they gained from the Arkansas win, you can tell this team is. I don't want to pick against them. I love what Brendan Lewis is doing, and Coach Silverfield, he is, I think, the favorite now, maybe to get in the playoff. We will see. 48-17 Memphis. I'll lay the points.
I like it. What else do you like around college football tomorrow?
Well, I mentioned there's some couple underdogs. One in the SEC. I'm actually going to give Arkansas a shot tomorrow against A&M. Now, they're playing this game. They're not playing in Arlington. And I thought this was like in perpetuity. They're supposed to play at Jerry Jones Stadium, but I guess not. Now they want to play these at the campus sites. And I think the fan bases like going to Arlington for the game. So I'm not sure they're all thrilled about it. But Arkansas gets a home game here. I have thought Petrino is going to get one of these games for Arkansas. So he's going to get somebody. He's not going to get the job on a full-time basis. But, you look at national total offense stats. Look who leads. Kalen Green leads the nation in total offense. They can move the ball. They put a scare in Tennessee last week. And I know A&M has had everything go right for them, but now they're out on the road. Teams do not play the exact same every week. And I think this is a real banana peel, 7.5 for Arkansas. I will take the Razorbacks. Wouldn't be surprised if they won it outright. A couple others really quick, off the grid sort of. UConn is a very slight dog up at Boston College. BC should not be laying points here. It has gone completely pear-shaped for Bill O'Brien. They haven't won a game. The opener against Fordham, they ran up the score 66-10, and I think they angered the ghost of Vince Lombardi because they haven't won since, and they're getting boat raced the last 2 weeks. Injuries on defense, thin to begin with, and O'Brien's he's pulled his quarterback longer than each of the last 2 games. UConn ain't that bad. It could be 6-0 right now with a break or two. And Pignano, the quarterback, and Edwards, the running back. Good combination. UConn wins that one. One more off the grid in the MAC. Ohio U. This is not a big spread considering they're playing a Northern Illinois team that cannot score. You're laying about 10.5, 11. That's all Northern Illinois is scoring per game this year. They do not have a quarterback. They do not have a downfield passing game. This offense is absolutely pathetic. You got Ohio off a loss. This is one of the better MAC teams with a week off. They're playing at home in Athens. Navarro is still one of the best dual-threat quarterbacks in the MAC, if not the nation. And I'd be shocked if they don't stretch this margin, well into the teens or into the 20s. So Ohio U tomorrow over in Northern Illinois.
You're talking to Bruce Marshall. He joins us every week from Vegas Insider and CBS Sports. Bruce, what do you like in the NFL?
I feel a little bit like I'm walking into a trap here with Carolina. And just, watch the Jets last week. Boy, I actually got up and watched that whole game early. Rich Eisen, who called the game for NFL Network, he said that game aged him. And the defense played really well. But they got to cut ties with Justin Fields at some point. He is not a winning quarterback in the NFL. He's not seeing the game as connecting pieces to let your team win. He's just trying to make a play and make something happen. He is 5-24 as a starting quarterback in the NFL, and his third team in 3 years. I understand why they're giving him a shot here, but they'd be better off playing Tyrod Taylor. They really would. They haven't made that permanent switch yet, and I don't expect they will for a while yet. But Carolina has learned how to win. Look at what Rico Dowdle's doing the last couple of weeks. Just because this is basically a pick 'em game against a team. I know the Jets defense, they're due one of these weeks, but let's make them actually win one before being afraid to pick against them. I'm taking Carolina. I'll give Bryce Young a shot. I like what I'm seeing from Carolina. I don't like much at all seeing with the Jets.
Yeah, I don't blame you with that at all. Anything you like tonight in the baseball?
Yeah, I'm going to give, the total in the Toronto game is only like 7.5. I think they're going to go over, and I would give Toronto a look, too, with Gausman tonight. I know this matchup, Bryce Miller pitched pretty well for Seattle in Game 1, but he had been the back of their rotation, and he had not been effective, either the game in Detroit in the division round or in September. His ERA was well in the fives. Gausman has been pitching pretty well, and Toronto has found its bats. This is a road series, and it's like the 2019 World Series.
It really is.
And I actually think Toronto is the one team that has a shot against the Dodgers because they put so many balls in play.
Yeah.
Professional hitting lineup. I over in Toronto tonight. The other game, I don't have much of a feeling because I hate the Dodgers. I feel bad. I just don't see any hope for Milwaukee here. They're a defeated team. Maybe an under there. They're just not scoring runs. Dodgers aren't scoring many runs either, so you could see a 4-1 sort of game there, so maybe under in the Dodgers tonight.
That one looks like it's wrapped up. Well, Bruce, before we let you go, where can we find more of you?
Yeah, thanks, Brian. Check me out online at the old standby, VegasInsider.com. Bunch of picks up there. We got some hockey, and we're going to have NBA next week. Can you believe that?
That's crazy.
And all the footballs and baseball, too. VegasInsider.com also up there. CBS Sportsline, Sportsline.com. Got some stories up there, too, at Sportsline. And picks with a different twist up there at winnersandwhiners.com, picksandparlays.com.
Bruce, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll do it again next Friday.
Okay, Brian, have a good weekend. Thank you.
Right back at you. Thanks, Bruce. Bruce Marshall joining us every week to talk some wagering. Landon, I've got good news. Brett's back. Well,
you got connection?
He texted me. He said that they have figured out the issue. They have fixed the issue, and he will be with us on the other side. So Brett will be back. We'll also have Brad Bellamy with us from Landers Ford. We'll get his Landers locks. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Sports Time.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You know, sometimes I wish I had a gun.
Well, I'm armed, but before I bought one, I still went to Top Gun Academy to learn to protect myself without a gun.
How is that possible?
Top Gun's personal protection training. It's perfect if you want to protect yourself without firearms.
I don't know.
And it's perfect if you feel the need to carry a gun for self-defense, because the last thing you really want to do is shoot.
That is scary.
Not at Top Gun. It's very comfortable, and you learn to load, handle, and shoot a handgun safely. Protect yourself. Go to Top Gun Academy. They're at 2770 Winton Road.
Something's always happening over at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, and I've got him on the line, Marty McNate. Hey, Marty, what's happening over there at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown?
Deals you can't pass up, Randy, like 2025 Taos S, $219 a month.
Taos S, $219 a month. What else you got, McNate?
What about a 2025 Jetta S? We got it, $228 a month.
$228 a month for Jetta S? That is awesome. And that Atlas deal you were telling me about?
Randy, I've got a 2026 Atlas SE, $299 a month.
I'm picking up what you're putting down over there. Hey, McNate, tell them what to do.
Come see me, Marty McNate, at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road, or shop online at GossettVWG.com. And remember, your future's what you make it.
That's Gossett Volkswagen Germantown.
All 36 monthly, 7,500 miles, 25 cents excess mileage. Taos SMO 58885, MSRP 27011. Get a TM 005137, MSRP 25820. Atlas TC 515398, MSRP 41841. Includes all rebates and incentives. 895 PF. Excludes fast title license with approved credit. CD for complete details. Must finance through Volkswagen Financial Services. Valid through 10/31/25.
If the question is, where should we all go after work? The answer is always Bell Tavern. Bell Tavern, Memphis' perfect downtown neighborhood bar, not only has the perfect relaxed atmosphere you want in a bar, it also has an outstanding happy hour with $2.50 domestics, $3.50 imports, $3 well drinks, and $3 house wines, and $1 off of virtually everything else. Those are great prices at a great bar in a great location. So not only are we talking about everybody's favorite hang with ice-cold beers, signature cocktails, and the friendliest staff in town, we're also talking about great happy hour prices.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of Ariat jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Ariat just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
If you're thinking of selling your home, think of me, Sheldon Rosengarten with Marks Bensdorf, because I've got the tools. No, I can't fix anything around the house. Heck, I never even finished my shoe shine kit in high school shop. And if you play golf with me, you'll see why I'm known as the worst golfer in town. And they call me Mr. Three-Putt or Sheldon the Shank. But I have all the tools to get your home sold. I have a highly successful strategic marketing program that can mean the difference in what you make and when. And I'm part of a nationwide relocation network that provides many more transferred buyers coming into our market. Always interview 2 to 3 brokers. Make sure you include me, the bald, bad golfer who people say when you want the job done, call Sheldon. Reach me at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. That's right, my website says it all. memphisrelocate.com, or anytime call me at 483-0546.
This traffic report brought to you by Salt Sports Bar and Bistro, 3101 South Mendenhall Road, where great food meets the big game.
Sports 56 traffic making its way across the I-40 bridge right now over into West Memphis throughout Crittenden County. There's been plenty of radar over in Arkansas this afternoon, that's for sure. We've got several calls trying to get south of Memphis right now. It's starting to pick up a little bit more volume. Traveling down 55 right now through DeSoto County. Watching it build over here, 55 at Mallory and 3rd. Hey, Zips Car Wash, that's where I go, and so should you this weekend. Get upgraded shine and protection at your local Zips Car Wash. Check out zipscarwash.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you, and we got to talk some more picks. And joining us like he does at this time every Friday afternoon, Brad Bellamy from Landers Ford, going to give us some Landers locks again this week. Brad, good afternoon. Thanks again for joining us. Before we get to your Landers locks this week, tell us about what y'all got going on over at Landers Ford.
Man, good afternoon, guys. What a great weekend we got set up. So excited about all that we got to offer here, all that we got to offer at home on TV, and everything else in between. So, we got great deals on F-150. We continue to do well with America's best-selling truck. For 48 years now and counting, guys, and 2.9% financing, plus up to $10,000 off. Delivered 2 already today, and it's going to have a great weekend with that. And then reminding everybody, it's SUV season here at Landers Ford, so great programs and deals, X-Plan pricing on Expeditions, Explorers. We got Escapes at under $25,000. Bronco Sports continue to be hot for us. So a lot going on, guys. Just a reminder of the fabulous Ford electric vehicle program where standard installation and a charger is included if you purchase or lease a Lightning or a Mach-E. Only manufacturer out there doing that, which helps give customers that really big question I always ask when it comes to electric vehicle: where can I charge? Well, with that program, you can charge at the convenience of your home. More and more people talk about that convenience, as well as going to fill up with gas, not having to go to a gas station, not wanting to go to a gas station. And that's one of the beauties of an electric vehicle is you don't have to go to a gas station ever again, which, guys, I'll be honest, one of the struggles I have, because I've had a Mach-E for almost 3 years, I forget to throw my trash away not going to a gas station. That is negative, is I consistently have my wife reminding me that I need to clean out my car, because that's the convenient time to do it, is when you're at the got station. So I love my Mach-E. I love how it drives, and I love not having to have that extra expense each month. So we got great programs, and we've got a full team and staff here ready to take care and assist. We got a lot of folks coming back from fall break, and some folks are probably riding around today thinking, you know what, this was not the best vehicle for our drive to Gatlinburg this week. So it's time to make a change. And so come see us at Landers Ford, the corner of Houston Levy and Poplar. We're here 6 days a week. Closed on Sundays because everybody needs to rest. So,
that's right. That's right,
one other reminder too, Brad. I had a customer in this morning asking about, a fee, and he was telling us about a bad experience he had somewhere else where he was purchasing a vehicle, and then they added some additional costs he wasn't expecting when they transported the vehicle in. And everything we do is up front here, guys. We don't have anything we hide. We don't have anything that we surprise you with at the last minute. We want everybody to have a great experience, and want them to be comfortable knowing that what they're told is what they're going to get. So it's one of the things we're proud of, and that's part of the reason that we've won President's Award 18 times. So, but appreciate being on the show with you guys this afternoon.
Brad, we love having you, and everybody will love doing business with you, because what you see is what you get. There's no fine print. There's no sticker shock. There's no, but what you see is what you get at Landers Ford. And you know what I like to call tomorrow, even in the car business, the famed third Saturday in October, even for the car business, Brad.
Roll Tide? Is that what you said, Brad?
Who lights the cigars tomorrow night?
Man, Alabama better be lighting cigars tomorrow night. After last year, they 0-1 to Tennessee, and hopefully their penalties will be under control. The last two times that they've lost to Tennessee, they've had way too many penalties and really cost the game. So one thing that's pleased me so far this season, ever since the Florida State game, is I feel like Ty Simpson's composure has been just phenomenal. And some headwinds in that Missouri game, going down early, and then being able to hold everything together and then close it out last week. So hopefully Alabama continues the run and takes care of business against Tennessee. But that's not going to be one of my Landers locks, because even though I took Alabama last week, I realize it's a bad idea to take your team and bet, because then you end up really frustrating yourself twice.
That's right.
Yeah, you sure can. Even a couple of good games tonight. Louisville at Miami. Miami 13.5-point favorite. Nebraska at Minnesota. Nebraska minus 6.5. Those poor Nebraska fans, they have to be sitting there thinking, why aren't we playing Oklahoma? We're in Minneapolis more than we are anywhere.
That's right, man. I tell you what, that Miami game tonight, that's a big spread. But Miami's been getting it done. Now the question is, are they going to be able? I think they go up early. I can see them going up early. But can they hold it together to still cover the spread? I mean, that Florida State game got way close at the end, and it really shouldn't have. So, and Miami has not done well in the last couple of years in the second half of games. I mean, I think, wasn't it last year, Brett, where they blew – was it last year or 2 years ago when they blew the game because they didn't run out the clock the right way against
2 years
Georgia
ago
Tech?
against Georgia Tech. But Cristobal has let one get away from him every year. Mm-hmm. Tonight could be that one against Louisville, 4-1 Louisville against undefeated the U, but 13.5. Tell us your picks. Tell us what you like.
Well, guys, I'm going to go back to the well that I should have done every single week this year. I went to them once, and I got burned, and so then I haven't gone back to them. But Texas Tech minus 7.5. We took the over against Kansas. I burned myself last week against Arizona State, not realizing that the quarterback was not going to be starting against Utah. Turned out to be an absolutely terrible pick, so I apologize for those listening at home. that went with my Landers lock. I too got burned by Arizona State. So I'm going to take Texas Tech on the road at Arizona State minus 7.5. A lot of money has gone into the Red Raider program this year, and so far they've delivered. They've delivered on a lot of spreads as well. So I'm going to take Texas Tech minus 7.5. Another game that I did not pick last week, but after the UCLA debacle, Northwestern has covered a lot of games this year. They burned me earlier in the year against Oregon, got a couple of touchdowns late. Purdue's not been great. I think they might be turning the corner, but they're not there yet. Northwestern minus 2.5 at home against Purdue. And then I don't really understand the spread of this game based on how the season has gone, but Georgia Tech is giving points getting points at home against Duke. And Duke has not covered a lot of games this year. Manny Diaz is a good coach, but Georgia Tech, last I checked, is still undefeated, controls their own destiny. I'm going to take Georgia Tech plus 1.5 at Duke. And then a game and a spread that I never in my wildest dreams thought I would ever say 2 years ago. Vandy minus 2.5 at home against
I
LSU.
love it.
Vandy's a great football team this year, guys. I mean, that's everything that they've done. I think they're better this year than they were last year, and their offense has played well. LSU's defense has been pretty stingy, but their offense hasn't been that great either. And I really like Vandy at home this week. So Vandy minus 2.5. That closes out my college football locks for the week.
I love that. We notably, Brad, we anchor down on this show, or at least I do. I don't. Sometimes I question Brett and if he really anchors down. So I love a Vanderbilt bet anytime I hear. Were you like me, and I think a lot of people I've talked to, when you saw that Vanderbilt was favored? I get it's at home, but favored against LSU. I mean, just. I think historically that when you see that just
mind-blowing.
I mean, it catches you off guard, right?
It does, and they've been really good at home the last couple of years too. Outside of the South Carolina game last year, where they just got absolutely destroyed. Of course, they redeemed themselves this year, but I think they covered every spread last year at home. And they had Texas come to town, they had Tennessee come to town, they had Alabama come to town, and a couple of those were road games at home. So let's anchor down. Another school sponsored by the Mid-South Ford dealers. So let's go with Vandy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 favorites, 1 dog. Texas Tech minus the 7.5 at Arizona State. Northwestern minus 2.5 over Purdue. And Vandy minus 2.5 over LSU. The 1 dog you like, the Ramblin' Wreck, plus 1.5 at Duke. Anything on Sunday in the NFL?
Absolutely. Brett, I think the most important thing sometimes is to show people receipts. So you got to see a couple of mine from last week. I had Egbuka. He got hurt as one of my 3 locks. But fortunately, thanks to a lot of changes in the way that all of these online sites try to market, they give insurance now if people get hurt. And so Egbuka still cashed last week, or at least didn't hurt the parlay. So if anybody at home played the 3 locks last week, with Waller getting over plus 250, that helped have a nice little payout there.
Great
so I'm going back to the well, guys. This is week number 4 of the Darren Waller story with the Miami Dolphins. A little bit tougher defense they're playing against this week with the Browns, but Waller continues to be the number 1 target in the red zone for Tua. And Tua has shown he likes to throw to tight end. Waller's got a great frame, and he continues to catch the ball. So he's still over plus 200 to get a touchdown this week. So I'm going back to Darren Waller again until he fails me, guys. I'm going to keep rolling with him. Another guy that I didn't pick as one of my locks last week, but I had him in a lot of different things, especially when I knew that CeeDee Lamb wasn't going to play as George Pickens. I mean, the guy has been a touchdown machine this year, and they're at home against Washington. Washington continues to give up some passing touchdowns to receiving touchdowns to the wide receivers. So I'm going to take George Pickens to get another week of a touchdown. And then the guy that didn't have one hit last week for the first time, I'm going with him, is Rome Odunze. Playing just great with Caleb Williams. I mean, they've connected a lot this year. DJ Moore's kind of been on the side compared to what Odunze's done. So they're at home against the Saints, a team that's given up some points. I'm going to take Odunze. Those are going to be my my 3 touchdown walks this week, guys.
Those are bold picks, but that's what we like, and that's what we like at Landers Ford in Collierville, right there at the railroad track at Houston Levee, right by the big American flag. And, Brad, you know what we love to say, and I know what y'all like to say. If it doesn't say Landers,
you pay too much.
That's a fact. Brad Bellamy, great stuff, man.
Absolutely.
Have a great weekend. Don't get too anxious tomorrow night. We'll have that stove ready for about 10 o'clock tomorrow night.
Sounds great, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you, Brad.
Thanks. Bye.
Brad Bellamy with some more good picks this week, and
those player props.
Oh man, well, Brett, we were texting about it on Sunday. I mean, those anytime touchdown scores, they were cash for him. I'm glad his sports book at least voided or whatever they did insurance for the Ibuka touchdown. Mine didn't, so I think I need to find a new sports book because mine didn't.
Yeah.
So
that's on the consumer.
That's true. Yeah. Hey, I raised my hand. Hey, that's on me. That's on me.
I
Coach.
still say those player props that actually count better than just a pick.
I think so.
You know, like if you have somebody minus 2.5 and you lose it, okay.
Sure.
But if you win that, it counts 1. But when you hit those player props, I mean, that's going deep.
Oh yeah, no, it is. I like these picks a lot, and
I do too. I like Brad's college picks, and Brad has been really good with us and so much fun. We love Landers Ford, the title sponsor of this hour.
That's right, yeah. And so, I really like these. I think we could be seeing another, 3 more anytime touchdown scorer plays from him on Sunday. 2 for 3 with some insurance on the injury last week. I think we could go 3 for 3 this weekend, Brett, so I am really excited about that. But let's go ahead and get to another break, and when we return, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
You have opinions?
I think it's over.
Of course you do.
I don't think it's that simple.
Everyone does.
I got all the answers.
Hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line at 360-8255.
The 2025 Range Rover Sport sits right at the heart of the Land Rover lineup, offering a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility. Smaller and more agile than a full-size Range Rover, it's a great option for everyone who wants luxury and practicality. Every model comes with 8-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive standard. Whether you navigate city streets or tackle rough terrain, Range Rover Sport has you covered. Every drive is powerful and breathtaking. The 2025 Range Rover Sport is the epitome of sporting luxury. Test drive one at Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City.
Since 1948, in the alley, the Rendezvous. I'm with John Burgos. John, what's going on in the Rendezvous?
Brett, after 76 years, we've decided to expand our product line. Anyone who's tasted our ribs is familiar with our vinegar base. It's now available in a 32-ounce jar. It's so good to base or marinate all meats. I even put a little bit on turnip greens. Something we've been using at the restaurant or at our house has been the Greek seasoning. My father was a cook, but my mother was a chef, and she was the one that put Greek seasoning on everything from a Mediterranean diet or a steak. My mom used it on soup, salad, veggies, fish, any meats. It's a great seasoning and a flavor enhancer. My brother Nick figured out salt and pepper was more than just McCormick's and Morton's. He's come up with the perfect blend we use to coat our shoulders and our brisket, and he used to make it for his friends as Christmas gifts, and they loved it. All these products are available at the Rendezvous or online for shipping as gifts and in many grocery stores. And if they're not in your favorite grocery store, ask your grocer to stock it.
A beloved family affair and still going strong since 1948, the Rendezvous.
Guys, let's be honest. Too many men wake up already tired. Before work, before family, before life even starts. And if you're always running on empty, you can't be the husband your wife counts on, the dad your kids look up to, the guy your team relies on. That's not just being tired, that's losing your edge. That's why you should take M-Drive supplements for every single day. Refuse to just coast through life. M-Drive is designed to help men fight back against aging. More energy, stamina, strength. The fuel you need to step up when it matters most. And listen, this isn't hype. M-Drive's the #1 men's health brand at Sprouts. Real supplements that work. Feel the difference. So here's the move. Go to mdriveformen.com. First order, enter the code HERD, H-E-R-D, for 25% off. Don't wait, don't settle. Get M-Drive supplements. That's mdriveformen.com. Code HERD. Take control, stay strong. M-Drive. Men, let's be men again.
Gossett Hyundai on the Pike is relocated right down the street to 1956 Covington Pike while our new dealership gets a facelift. So come by and get relocation renovation specials. Gossett Hyundai on the Pike's got 2025 Hyundai Sonata, $293.67 a month. How about 2026 Hyundai Tucson SE, we got it $323.95 a month. And 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe SE, we got it $348.83 a month, or 1.99 for 60 months available. Plus America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So hurry to Gossett Hyundai, 1956 Covington Pike, or shop online anytime at HyundaiGossett.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Sonata T8 537 988, MSRP 29,950. Tucson T8 629,951, MSRP 31,760. Santa Fe T8 153,662, MSRP 37,280. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 895. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit. Dealer stock only. Must finance through HMA. Not all customers will qualify.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
And she says, I wish that I could be like the cool kids.
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brand. It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
You're a big guy. I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
All right, Brett, it's a Fight Song Friday. It's the last day of the week. We're all excited for the weekend, so I think because of all of that, I think we should switch it up today and you kick us off.
You got it, and I think you'll like this.
All
My
right.
big number is 49. I know everybody's thinking 49. What could that represent? Well, with the expected win tomorrow at UAB, that would be the shocker of the football season if the Tigers don't at least win. I think they. Well, I'm gonna save my picks, but I think they take care of business. That would be win number 49 for Ryan Silverfield in his University of Memphis tenure, and that would move him into a tie with Coach Tommy West for the second most wins in Tiger football history for a head coach. Coach Murphy's out there at number 81. And I hope in a few years we could be talking about Ryan Silverfield passing that. We'll save that for them, but I know for today and tomorrow down in Birmingham, if he wins, number 49, which sets up even more for next week. That kind of any number with a zero, any birthday, any special designation in sports, any number with a zero is big. Next week to set up to get the 50th win, to move into second by himself against South Florida, and that would just really move it down the road to what could be a magical year, historic year, and really special December for the Tigers in the college football playoff.
No, it absolutely will be. And it's, when you're talking about that, it made me think, and correct me if I'm wrong because I can't remember exactly, but we always talk about some of those parallels between Memphis and Ole Miss.
That's
Against
right.
Washington State, that was win number 50 for Lane Kiffin, right?
That was.
Yeah, wow. How about that?
and he turned down the cake.
Well, I was about to say, he wasn't too happy about it when it was brought up to him. But
and the parallels, they both hired at the same time. Ryan Silverfield never having been a head coach. Lane Kiffin, starting over in the SEC. In both of these programs now, being talked about about being in the college football playoff.
Yep.
And I talked about it yesterday when we were visiting with Pat Smith. And it's a little bit like what golf instructors, they'll tell you. I bet John Goin will tell you. He can take a guy shooting 100, and he can get him down to 81, 82.
Definitely.
Getting from 82 to 75
That's
or
the hard
72, that's hard for Ryan Silverfield and for Lane Kiffin and for Frank Signetti. You saw it with Chris Peterson at Boise State. To get that program kind of the top 10 and in the college football playoff talk and mix, that's one thing. Pushing it across the goal line to get them there every single year, that's really hard.
No, it is. It is very hard. And, I kind of going back to your big number, I think we expect – well, again, we'll get to our picks later, but you're right. It sets up for a massive week all around. Just kind of adds some almost like some sprinkles to that cake of what next weekend will be.
A lot of Ole Miss and Tiger fans on Highway 78 today.
That's right. Yeah, that is exactly right. My big number today, I'm going to go back to a game that happened last weekend, but I think it sets up my ultimate point for my big number. This big number, I found it on social media, and it's a a bunch of big numbers that you could, a lot of numbers in here that you could draw for your big number, but I'll just go with the number 30. The Chiefs are the first team in NFL history to have a game with 30 or more points, 100 or more rushing yards, 200 or more net passing yards, 0 turnovers, and 0 penalties. That happened in their most recent game, a 30-17 win over the Detroit Lions. And I think we talked about this Chiefs team earlier this week, but this turnaround that I think you're starting to see with this Kansas City team, and it's, I don't want to call it really a turnaround because I think we all expected the Chiefs to figure it out. But when they started 0-2, a lot of people questioning this Chiefs team and how good they were. You go out there and first game of the season, you lose to the Chargers. Second game, you lose to the Eagles. And then, back-to-back wins where I think a lot of people downplayed it. Okay, you beat a Giants team. This was before they made the quarterback switch, and they were really struggling. You beat a Baltimore team that is really struggling with injuries right now. Then you go on the road and lose to Jacksonville. But then last week, that win against Detroit, I think that was huge for saying, hey, we're still the Chiefs. We're still that same team. We're still a team that is going to contend in the postseason and make a run for the Super Bowl, because that's a good Detroit team. And the way that they won that game, and kind of going back to those numbers, how they did it, scoring 30 points, having over 100 yards rushing, having over 200 yards passing.
First time for golf to not beat Mahomes.
Yeah, wow, I did not realize that. But yeah, and to do it as clean as they did it with no turnovers and no penalties sets up a game on Sunday against Vegas. I think you feel pretty good if you're the Chiefs, go out and win that, and then we'll get a Monday Night Football game against Washington before the Chiefs go on the road against Buffalo. So some important games after this Vegas game this weekend, but I think Kansas City, we're starting to see them kind of pick it up, and we always talk about these teams looking like they're in mid-season form and kind of ready to get back to the Chiefs we kind of know and I almost said know and love, but I think the Chiefs have gotten into that that territory of evil empire.
They have. If you ain't us, they hate us.
That's
They have. You earned that. But and with that, if the Chiefs don't have championship DNA, who does?
Yeah, man, it's a, and that's the thing. I going back to those first 2 weeks, I think we both said it. I'm not worried about this Chiefs team. Yeah, maybe they're not going to be in the Super Bowl this year. It's hard to ask any team, even these dynastic teams, to be in the Super Bowl or the championship every single season. But as long as you've got that coach, that quarterback, those weapons, including that tight end, that big-time defensive player, I feel pretty good about the success you're going to have on the field, and it feels like that was a big win over Detroit. Kind of, have that billboard of, hey, we're still here, and we'll see what they do this weekend against Vegas, and see if we can see them rattle off a couple wins.
Everything ends, and Cornbread Maxwell was right. Father Time remains undefeated.
Sure does.
It even got Tom Brady and Tiger Woods.
Well, yeah, and it's not easy to do with those two, because those two seem pretty invincible. But hey, Father Time always wins out. But I am excited to see what this Chiefs team does the rest of the season and see if they can turn things around. And like I said, a couple big games coming up down the stretch here in a couple weeks with, Buffalo. On the road at Buffalo. We'll see what Buffalo's looking like then, because now they're looking at back-to-back losses, so setting up for some fun games for the Chiefs. Well, we need to get to another break here in a second, wrap up this hour, but before we do that, let me remind you that this weekend, it's a perfect opportunity, or maybe even early next week, to head down to Olive Branch and check out Frontier Western Store. Family-owned and operated since 1967, Frontier Western is your one-stop shop for all the biggest brands in Western wear. They're the one-stop shop for Carhartt in the Mid-South, but they've also got you covered with plenty of other brands. When it comes to shirts, shorts, jeans, outerwear, whatever you're looking for, they have it in stock. And if you're looking for a new pair of jeans, well, Frontier Western is the place you've got to get to. They've got all the biggest brands from Ariat all the way down to Wrangler, and you'll love how easy it is to find the perfect size and style for you. While you're there, check out Frontier's world-famous boot showroom. Whether it's work boots or dress boots, Frontier Western has you covered for the entire family with plenty of in-stock proven classics like Ariat, Dan Post, and Durango, and that's just to name a few. They have so many different types of boots, so many different brands of boots, plenty to choose from out there at Frontier Western. Their pricing is also lower than online and chain stores, so you know you'll be getting the best deals. Head down to 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch and check out the entire selection. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sundays, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. for our friends over at Frontier Western Store. Let's wrap up this hour, get to another break, and when we return, we're talking the Razorbacks and the SEC with Ty Richardson.
Guns, and more guns. Over 700 firearms in stock. Home defense guns, old guns, new guns, used guns, big guns, little guns. Every gun you can think of, Classic Arms has them. All brands like Glock, Sig, Colt, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Browning, Beretta, Benelli, Remington, Winchester, and more. Guaranteed lowest prices in town. Only gun importer in the Mid-South. Free gun inspections and appraisals and free bore sighting for the upcoming deer season. Shop online at ClassicArmsOfMemphis.com or visit Classic Arms at 1740 Germantown Parkway behind Quirky's Barbecue in Cordova.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. Do you know what Penny Hardaway and I have in common? We should both be in that building celebrating the best basketball players of all time. Of course, I'll have to buy a ticket to get in, but he should already be there. But seriously, we both surround ourselves with the best people we can find. We work hard to achieve our goals, and we are both among the best in our respective fields. At Fiveash, we can't win titles or get national awards, but what we can and do strive to do is give 100% of ourselves to give you the best product possible and one you can be proud of. So if you need a roof, siding, or gutters, give us a call at 901-367-0050, and we will do everything we can to provide you the best of everything. Fiveash Roofing. Fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This traffic report is brought to you by Millington Weight Loss. For more information, call 901-436-0272.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. We had some police activity a few minutes ago that was affecting that traffic up through Midtown on 240 northbound and near Union. Again, there's been a lot of flashing lights in that area as it builds already in that area getting heavy, especially coming southbound. That's only going to really pick up in the next few minutes on 240 getting on to 385 Billmore Parkway going outbound. Weimer's Jewelry, your full-service, family-owned jewelry store. Stop by and see them this weekend at 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10. Time to talk Razorbacks on Sportstime. Joining the guys is Ty Richardson from ESPN Arkansas to talk all things Hogs and SEC. On Twitter X at Ty Sports Radio, here's Ty Richardson with Bryant and Brett.
Come on, all you Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those Hogs!
Ty Richardson joins us now from ESPN Arkansas to talk the Razorbacks and the SEC. Ty, thanks so much for joining us. Last week we talked a lot about the upcoming game against Tennessee, a lot about Bobby Petrino in his first game as the interim head coach for the Hogs. What did you make of his showing as the interim head coach on the road against the Volunteers?
Well, a lot of the same. Turnovers galore, 3 fumbles, 4 of them total, 3 lost, and you also had turnover on down. So we've seen that not just under Bobby Petrino, but the last 5 or so years of Sam Pittman. Defense looked better. They prevented Tennessee from having a lot of success on third down to the line, but still out 34 points, albeit that was the lowest point total that the Vols just scored all season. So there were some positives, but I mean, there's still plenty of negatives. They lost the game. They had a chance to win, and they're down by 17 in the second half after a blank third quarter with a couple of terrible possessions. So, guys, you go back and forth between being positive and negative, and I don't know if I'm definitively one way or on either of them, to be honest.
I understand the wave of emotions. It happens with an in-season change. But, Ty, I really feel like in watching the effort and only 1 penalty against Tennessee, there's, as you mentioned, there still are some inadequacies, and some of those are supposed to be Bobby Petrino's forte of fixing and correcting and coaching. But I think big picture, Ty, the journey of 1,000 steps starts with 1 step. I think the Sam Long national nightmare of Sam Pittman's already, you're starting to move away from that. And I think when they get into Razorback Stadium tomorrow, that first hog call against the old Southwest Conference rival, I think starting to move on from that, maybe eventually, to some positivity and some success.
You hope so, Brett. That's at least what some fans are leaning in towards. I tend to think they're going to lose regardless. Tomorrow, if Sam was the head coach for Bobby Petrino, I hope they play better than they have at home under Sam Pittman, because that was the strangest thing. Guys, they compete on the road like they did in Oxford, Mississippi earlier this year, and obviously under Petrino they competed in Knoxville this past Saturday, but the teams would just play bad at home, and it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't compete with the rest of college football. You change coaches, and you've got 3 straight games at home. Guys, they have been in Fayetteville, think about this, since I guess it would have been the night of the 12th of October. They'll be here till November the 14th. Missouri's had this 6-game start at home in Columbia. Arkansas in October and a little bit in November gets to be in Fayetteville for a while, so hopefully some momentum built.
But, Ty, I am the ultimate, Brian sure knows it. Y'all both know it. Y'all know me well. I'm the ultimate. Your record, it's what you are. It just is the biggest truth teller out there. But we also know some vagaries around sports. You just change a little bit. I'm not talking 10 plays. I'm talking about 3 plays. In Arkansas, they're 5-1.
Yeah, because they're not beating Notre Dame. I don't care what play happens in that game. But yeah, their season comes down to 10 total points, 6-point loss, to Ole Miss. They had a 3-point loss to Tennessee last weekend, and then a 1-point loss to Memphis. And a couple fumbles go your way, and Arkansas's got Sam Pittman as the Coach of the Year candidate and whatnot, but guys, that's not what happened. And it's funny, we have that conversation. You're 100% right, Stat. But at the same time, it's like, but they lost those games. That's just what it boils down to, and it's been that way for a while. It's been that way under Brett Bielema. It's really been that way ever since Bobby Petrino exited the program, and your one-score game deficit is just getting greater and greater by the year.
You had a really nice running game from Mike Washington, his best game of the season. Was that more reflective of maybe him figuring something out or Tennessee's defense struggling against the run?
I think that Tennessee doesn't have as good a defense as they did last year. I think evidence is on display multiple games this season. But Arkansas has shown the ability to run the football. Mike is a good running back. He's an SEC quality running back. Is he a top 3, top 4? Probably not. But a lot of times, defense is so keyed in on what Taylor Green's doing that he gets looked over. And I thought for Arkansas's run game to have success, they did, especially in the first half, and they got some in the fourth quarter as well. It's encouraging. Can you do that against a much better defense this week? Texas A&M, balanced team Arkansas has played thus far. You think about offense and defense, and that's it's the back and forth between Ole Miss and A&M. Both teams undefeated. Arkansas came up just short in Oxford. We'll see if they come up short to another really quality team in Fayetteville this weekend.
Ty, if for no other reason, the mood around town tonight, up and down Dixon Street, all throughout Northwest Arkansas, into the game tomorrow, the tailgating scene, playing the Texas Aggies. Thank goodness you're not at Jerry's World.
Yeah. No, we're happy. And I had stats. I don't know what it was like, how many Texas kids went back in your day, but I mean, I would say that 50+% of my friends are from Texas, from the university, and it's such an odd dynamic. And maybe it's like this at other SEC schools and other schools across the country, but I just don't know how many like take out-of-state kids relative to the in-state ones. And I love my Texas friends, I love my Dallas friends, but I was ready for that game to be moved home and home in Kyle Field and Razorback Stadium.
Yeah, and you'll get it tomorrow afternoon, Razorback Stadium, 2:30. The fans should be they should start out in a little more chipper mood than maybe the record shows it, shouldn't they?
I would think. The only downside, guys, is it's rain. We're going to have rain, it looks like, early tomorrow, leading up to the game. Don't think it's going to necessarily be happening during the game, but that is, I mean, you know how tailgating is. People want to be outside. People want to be able to do stuff. And not that you don't have tents and other mechanisms to keep you from getting wet, but that definitely puts a damper on things relative to what it could be if it was sun shining all day.
No, it absolutely does. I completely understand that. You look at this Texas A&M team, undefeated up to number 4 in the country. What have you liked about this Texas A&M team, and what are some areas that you think maybe Arkansas can exploit tomorrow?
I think Texas A&M is an opponent that we've seen beat some teams, beat some quality teams, and you're just kind of hoping they overlook Arkansas a little bit. Reed's a lot better as a quarterback. Elko, while he had some stud defensive linemen that left for the draft last year, still got a lot of guys back. I want to say they're third in the SEC right now in sacks, and also kind of that same statistic for tackles for loss. I mean, this is your first crack at him at home since 2013 when Johnny Manziel came to town. And I realized none of the players were on that team then, but there's got to be, Steph, you were alluding to earlier, a buzz. You've got a different coach. You've got your first home game against an SEC opponent. So you're just hoping that they don't produce the same dividends that they have under Pittman when it comes to playing at home at Razorback Stadium.
Keep that crowd in it. Make it a 5-minute game and let them be a part of it, because you know it well with your listeners, callers, and your dealings with everybody. There's some pent-up frustration that there are a lot of Razorback fans are ready to just let loose and enjoy being in a game and winning a game.
That's a little different. We just jokingly, our spring group talked about, Bryant, man, I wish I would have gone to school with good football teams like, Memphis, who's actually had success in football. Arkansas is just, I mean, there's other SEC institutions like the one in Oxford, like the one in Columbia and Missouri, that it's fun. I mean, it is fun to go to a home game. Yeah, you win some, you lose some, but more often than not, you're going to win those games at home. No one wants to play Lane Kiffin at Oxford. They match that game's at 9 in the afternoon. No one wants to play Eli Drinkwitz in Columbia. Obviously, what happens at night in Death Valley or Sanford Stadium, Georgia, Arkansas fans just don't have that sense. There's more of a nervousness than excitement game day, which will start again tomorrow in SEC here in Fayetteville.
But I've told you, Ty, this too shall pass for a lot of those places. That they need to enjoy it now and get their shots in, because it can turn quickly, especially if Arkansas ever got their NIL and head coaching right. I'm going to get to all that in a second. But tomorrow will be a feature. For this point in the year, this quarterback matchup, Taylor Green, 14 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Marcel Reed, 12 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. This is as good as quarterback versus quarterback gets out there.
Yeah, it's a fun matchup. And there was a good one last week with Aguilar and Taylor. And you think about the Chambliss and Taylor duel that we saw firsthand in Oxford. I guess that was week 2 or week 3, I should say. So there's been some fun at these. I know Arch doesn't live up to it coming off that injury, but there's really not a Saturday now once SEC play starts that you're like, man, this Saturday stinks. You've got dynamic defensive foes. You've got quarterback matchups galore, like the one we have ahead for us in Fayetteville. Well, it hasn't helped Arkansas with the joining of Texas and Oklahoma. It's definitely helped the conference and the marquee matchups that we as fans get to take in each and every weekend.
Ty, well said. And I promise you, with this next question, I am not fishing for an Ole Miss answer. Trust me, I think you do. You've already been to some tough places to play. You've seen a lot of football. I think the Notre Dame game is an exception with the vibe around the Razorbacks that day, but it might be. Who is the best team you've seen, and how would you compare Tennessee to Ole Miss and Memphis to Ole Miss and Tennessee?
I mean, Notre Dame just beat Arkansas's breaks in. I mean, it was just embarrassing. But we've seen them at other points this season. Like, I don't know if I can definitively say they are. Ole Miss got that huge win against LSU at home, and Lane Kiffin getting the best of Brian Kelly was awesome. But I mean, we're going to find a lot about Ole Miss this weekend, tomorrow in Athens, Georgia, and then Tennessee. Tennessee's defense is just not what it was last year, and I don't know how you're going to beat Alabama at Bryant Stadium, giving up 30-plus, 40-plus points to Ty Simpson. So I kind of gave you a non-answer there. If I had to pick one, I would still give the edge to Ole Miss. I do think, though, tomorrow Arkansas is going to play the most balanced team, because you correct me if I'm wrong, I think you would agree that Texas A&M probably has a better defense. Now, Ole Miss has the better, but Ole Miss has the better offense, so kind of goes back and forth, but I think I would give the slight edge to A&M. But both those teams, more A&M and Ole Miss, I want to see what they do on the road. They've won some big games at home, so I want to see what they do on the road in a marquee matchup, because we saw A&M choke away the SEC title game appearance last year, and I know Ole Miss has been close before. So as the SEC play continues on, it would be pretty wild to see A&M in their first SEC championship game and Ole Miss do in Atlanta. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, a little bit like the Seattle Milwaukee World Series. I don't know if the network executives would be that wild about it, but it falls like it falls. And you're going to be our go-to source. Now Brian has. He's seen the Tigers in person, but I haven't seen Memphis in person. I've watched on television. I haven't seen Tennessee and won't see Tennessee in person. I've seen Ole Miss every snap. But you're going to be our go-to source for that, because those three are in a lot of those CFP mock brackets.
Woo, that'd be fun. How about that? How about Memphis going to Oxford or Memphis going to Neyland? You talk, because I know Ole Miss is Mississippi, but you think about the proximity between those two schools, the recent history, guys. That would be. You talk about it's already a big deal for any of those schools to have home college football playoff games. We saw Tennessee have to go to Columbus. It didn't work out so well last year, but just the closeness of those schools would be so much. Y'all don't even have to prep for a show. You can just talk about that for 3 hours.
Well, don't tell anybody. We don't prep anyway. No, I'm kidding. Ty Richardson, our guest. Ty Richardson, our guest on our Sissy's Log Cabin guest line from ESPN Arkansas in Fort Smith and across the River Valley and in Northwest Arkansas on the ESPN affiliate there in Fort Smith on all things Razorbacks. And it would be a lot of fun. Now, Ty, you know the old saying about educated in Oxford, engaged in Memphis.
You're gonna have to explain the backstory on that, because I did not know that, Jack.
You go to the Peabody to the lobby to ask her to marry you.
Okay, I got you. That took me a second to understand that. That's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I know Memphis grads, obviously. Brian, I know I've got Ole Miss buddies, got Tennessee. That's just I hadn't thought about that potential matchup until you said something. So maybe we'll get it, guys. I know y'all would love it.
Yeah, no, it would be awesome to see that matchup. Ty, obviously the big news in college football from last weekend was that Penn State made the change with James Franklin. I've heard some people float out the idea. Brett and I have talked about it a little bit about maybe James Franklin being a candidate at Arkansas. Has that come up with y'all? Has anybody brought up James Franklin as maybe a potential replacement in Fayetteville?
Yeah, definitely has come up as a possibility. You think about Franklin, he gets plastered for the bad record against Michigan and Ohio State and top 5, top 10 matchups, but won 9+ games 7 times. He's won 9+ games twice with Vanderbilt, and those were just the Penn State wins that record before.
He'd be a great coach.
You're telling me you wouldn't take that in Fayetteville? Are you kidding me? Now,
in a second.
We know the level goes up. I don't care what the Big Ten says, and I know the Big Ten's won the last 2 national championships. championships, and Oregon or Indiana, Ohio State might win this year. But top to bottom, the SEC is still the best. Now, I go back to the basketball argument we made prior to Florida winning it. If you don't win, it's hard to say that. But the SEC had won since 2012. You got every win since 2006 prior to the last 2 years, or at least an appearance prior to the last 2 years. But I think for Franklin, if Arkansas fans end up with him, I'm going to be happy about it. I think that's a really good hire, and I think it's a guy that's going to keep you competitive. He's a good recruiter. Is he the best quarterback developer? No, but hopefully he could hire a competent offensive staff to maybe help improve, because they're going to have a good defense. Parsons and oh geez, why am I blanking on that kid that just got drafted? Dadgummit. Another
to the Giants, yeah.
Yeah.
Abdul Carter.
Abdul Carter, thank you. So he's had defensive talent, and hopefully there'll be some guys in Fayetteville that look like those two.
And he's someone that you would be proud leading your program.
Yeah. I mean, I know there was the Bill O'Brien kind of in between, but Franklin, he kept that thing going, and
sure
it wasn't a great situation that, let's put it lightly, it was a terrible situation that he inherited. So I think Penn State fans, again, I understand why that relationship had to end, but I also think sometimes another man's trash is another man's treasure, and I think James Franklin would be a treasure for Arkansas football fans, to be honest.
Ty, is there a momentum candidate right now, or is it still too early? And when do you think it will get traction for a momentum candidate if we don't already have one?
Man, it is pretty split. I mean, you've got Lashley, you've got Mullen, you've got some younger guys that have success. Tell me, Tulane coach right now, he just slipped my mind.
John Summerall.
Yeah, John Summerall. So
great coach, great man.
Yeah. People like the clips that are put out about him. So I really do think this isn't like a one-off thing where you just kind of have that guy that everyone's behind. There's so many different opinions on this, and the Cal thing was just out of nowhere last year in basketball. I tend to think that they're going to hire someone in the football program to lead them that we don't really have on our table, which could be a sitting head coach that we didn't have any thought process would leave. It just all depends, as you started the conversation, how much can they fill the pot with NIL potential and contracts and coaches and all this stuff that needs to happen. What does that look like for the future head coach?
So you think they're going big game hunting, a big wow, win the press conference. Even Cal goes to it, and he's not the biggest name at the press conference. The guy they're naming may be.
I think there's at least a question. We kind of had the debate on our show: who's the bigger name, Cal or Perino? And Tommy and I kind of agreed. I mean, you think about nationally, it's Cal. If you're a winning football coach in Arkansas, you're bigger than the basketball coach, even if he's a Hall of Famer, even if he has a national championship. That's when Kentucky's the only school in the SEC that probably isn't that case. And that's not a shot at Cal or anything he's done or accomplished, and it wasn't a shot at Eric Musselman. It's just reality. Like winning 8, 9, 10 football games around here regular season, which hadn't been done double digits since 2011, is a massive deal. So at least from the outside looking into the appearance, if they got a big fish, that Arkansas fans are going to immediately jump on the train of who that hire is.
Yeah, no, I think you are absolutely right. Before we get you out of here, I do want to talk, speaking of Cal, I do want to talk a little college basketball. What did you make of the AP poll and where the Razorbacks are at?
I think that they seem a little low in the SEC. I mean, it just speaks to, Brian, how talented the Southeastern Conference is. Florida, obviously coming off a national championship, you're probably going to put them at 1 where they are. You've got some other great teams above the Razorbacks in Kentucky and Tennessee and Alabama at 2. 14th, I mean, I would rather than be kind of middle of the pack or lower end of the top 25 than projected number 1, because I just think that puts that much more pressure on you. We're going to have some awesome basketball to watch in this conference. And then, in addition, a couple Mondays from now, we're going to have some great basketball to watch in the FedEx Forum. Am I right, fellas?
Yeah, we've got to sell some tickets. Announced this week, around 6,500 sold. That's not a lot. Got to sell some tickets for it. And you're right about SEC men's basketball. Once again, just going to be clawing your eyes out for somebody to get to 11-7, 12-6.
Yeah, it's going to be close. I mean, the Razorbacks, I forget that what they finished at the bottom, or not at the bottom, but what they finished last year. 14 teams to make the tournament, new record in the NCAA. I think, well, new record for the SEC. I think it tied maybe the Big East or something back in the day. Maybe it broke it, but no, you're right. You're going to be scrapping and clawing for wins on the road in places that traditionally has been pretty easy to win college basketball games. Guys, it's just not that like anymore in the Southeastern Conference.
No, it is definitely not. But yeah, we are very close to getting into a lot of basketball with Ty. And I guess next Friday we'll be talking about that exhibition game
on the eve of
following week. Yeah, that's exactly right. Ty, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the game tomorrow, and we'll talk to you again next Friday.
Good Friday, gents. Have a good rest of your weekend, and we'll see what happens in Fayetteville.
Enjoy the weekend. Ty. Thank you, Ty. Thank you.
Ty Richardson joining us from ESPN Arkansas, and yeah, I mean, I guess next time we talk to him, we'll be previewing that exhibition game. It'll be right there a couple days before, so that is really hard to believe.
But fun.
Oh no, I'm super stoked for it, but I am just it has shocked me seeing that teams are already starting exhibition games. We've got the AP poll and. Media days are going on. It just feels like it got here like that. I mean, it is flown by, it seems like.
It always does.
It always does. It feels like one thing after the other. But I definitely am excited about it. I'm excited to see, we talked about it, and we talked about with Ty about the fight, the effort that Arkansas showed on the road last week against Tennessee. Curious to see if they show that same fight tomorrow for another week under Bobby Petrino.
Stay tuned. Friday football forecast from First National Bank and Trust coming up, and I got a good feeling.
Okay, well, we will get to that in a second, but before we do that, let me remind you about our 5 o'clock sponsor. It's Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Jaguar Bluff City has been the premier Jaguar dealership for the greater Memphis area since 1984, and their talented team is ready to help you find your next perfect vehicle at unbeatable rates. Swing by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City today and check out the 2025 models like the 2025 Range Rover Sport, 2025 Range Rover Velar, and the 2025 Defender. Test drive the Range Rover Sport, where luxury meets performance. It's a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility with options ranging from 360 horsepower up to 635. It's also available as a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle with $7,500 federal tax credit when leased with approved credit. Take a look at the Range Rover Velar, powered by mild hybrid technology and enhanced with the latest well-being features and fully connected entertainment system. The Range Rover Velar is the ultimate luxury compact crossover. Purchase yours today and get special 4.4% for 72 months financing available with approved credit. Don't forget about the Defender, available in multiple models to fit your needs. The Defender is built for the modern explorer, and Jaguar Bluff City is offering special interest rates for 60 and 72 months on various models. Give them a call, 877-259-6169. Go online to JaguarBluffCity.com, but head out there, test drive these vehicles. 6335 Wheel Coat, just off of Quince for Bluff City Jaguar. Well, let's get to another break, and when we return, it'll be time for our First National Bank and Trust Friday football forecast.
Locally on your radio dial as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app, and at home just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, it's easy to stay tuned to Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Maria's Cantina in South Haven is not your average Tex-Mex joint because they're serving up Mexican with a twist. Maria's Scratch Kitchen is the most creative and diverse menu around. Beyond the traditional huge quesadillas, chimichangas, and fajitas, Maria serves up hand-rolled Latin egg rolls, Cajun and Creole items like catfish, gumbo, and boudin balls, as well as the best sandwiches and 8-ounce burgers in town. Wash it all down with a house margarita for only $5.50 and happy hour every day till 6. MariasCantina.com, 6717 Airways, Mexican with a twist.
The Drive into Fall event means it's time to save big at Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat on the Pike. 2026 Jeep Compass Latitude $52.24 off MSRP, or 2025 Dodge Hornet GT $78.33 off MSRP, or both just $281.86 a month. 2025 Grand Cherokee 4-wheel drive $86.90 off MSRP, now $35,230. And 2025 Ram 1500 Tradesman Crew Cab 5.7 box rear-wheel drive $11,631 off MSRP, or $467.42 a month, plus 0% for 72 months available. So drive past the rest and come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat, online GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we've got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
SN 711,999, MSRP 50,710, Cherokee SA 715236, MSRP 43,920, Latitude GT 159,340, MSRP 32,815, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 895, excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 10/30/2025 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets, with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli, with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
This traffic report brought to you by Salt Sports Bar and Bistro, 3101 South Mendenhall Road, where great food meets the big game.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. It's been a busy one out here on 240 East, trying to get past Perkins on some earlier problems. Just be patient. It's Friday. Lots of radar. Trust me on that. On I-40, especially out in parts of Fayette County as you come out of Shelby County. Bill Morris Parkway's gotten heavier here in the last few minutes going outbound. Zips Car Wash, that's where I go, and so should you this weekend. Get upgraded shine and protection at your local Zips Car Wash. I'm Commander Chuck, your on-time traffic.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Friday football forecast from First National Bank and Trust, a division of First National Bank of Eastern Arkansas. Real estate isn't something you purchase or develop or desire. It's something you appreciate, respect, and know. With real estate, there's no gray area. You either know it or you don't. First National Bank and Trust, a proud division of First National Bank of Eastern Arkansas. They've known it since their beginning in 1886. Clients depend on First National Bank because they know real estate. Brooks Winchester, Bill Samish, and many more can assist you in your acquisition of that hunting land, farmland, a construction project. Let First National Bank and Trust make your dreams a reality. 775 Ridge Lake Boulevard, Suite 140 in Memphis, 901-498-5763, or the office in Collierville, or online at fnbtmemphis.com. For commercial real estate, residential construction, or recreational and agriculture financing, let First National Bank and Trust help you. They're a division of First National Bank of Eastern Arkansas, where I've had an account, been a friend, and been a customer my entire life.
Look at all these games we're going to pick today, guys, for tomorrow. The famed third Saturday in October. It starts early tomorrow morning on ABC, 11 o'clock. Vandy minus 2.5 over LSU. No, you're not dreaming. I said Vandy minus 2.5 over LSU. The Jerry DiNardo Bowl, Joe Tess, The Bachelor, Katie George, the announced team in Nashville at Dudley Field. First time since 1947 they're playing as both being ranked. LSU leads all time 25-7-1. All time they lead, but tomorrow is about one game. It's about Garrett Nussmeier against Diego Pavia. Pavia feels built for these kind of games, doesn't he? Nussmeier, 15-5 and 20 career starts at LSU. Pavia this year, 14 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. You want quarterback play? We got it in a lot of games tomorrow, including this one. Landon, you start us.
I don't know why, but I just feel like LSU is going to pull this game out. I know Vanderbilt has shocked and surprised the nation with Diego Pavia and Eli Stowers making really good shows for this Vandy offense, but LSU, I mean, it's LSU, and Garrett Nussmeier surely coming back. He looks a lot better from that torso injury that he was rather quiet about, but he's looking like he's slinging the ball. I think this is going to be a good offensive matchup, but I think LSU wins outright.
Landon, that is a great breakdown of this game. I'm with you every syllable. I think LSU wins at 26-20, the underdog LSU. So I'll leave it last pick to Bryant because I know he's Mr. Anchor Down. We won't start with a group lock with Bryant.
Brett, I take great pride in anchoring down and having love for our neighbors up in Nashville. This Vanderbilt program has been so much fun to watch over the last couple of years. And really, it's only a few people out there that will claim that they anchored down before Diego Pavia came around, before this new coaching regime in basketball came around. But, Brett, I think that you can speak for me in saying that I anchored down much before any of these new cool kids on the block came to town. So I take great pride in that. That being said, I'm taking LSU. I just can't trust Vanderbilt as a favorite. It does something to me. LSU, it feels like they got to figure it out at some point, and I think they figure it out this weekend. I'm taking LSU, but I'm not happy about it.
Goes against Seattle in baseball now.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening this week.
I know that I know Brian
Brett,
anymore.
it's been an off week for me. I don't know what's going on. I don't feel myself.
2:30 ESPN. We just talked a lot about it with Ty Richardson. Texas A&M, the Texas Aggies, -7.5 at Arkansas. Old Southwest Conference matchup. It was a lot of fun through a lot of years in the Southwest Conference. Thankfully, they're not in Arlington. They're playing on campus where they should be playing. The Razorbacks lead 12-7-2 all-time in Fayetteville. Last played in Fayetteville in 2013. A&M got that one, as Ty said. Arkansas last beat A&M in Fayetteville in 1988, 3 300-yard passing games for Taylor Green. A&M versus Auburn and Mississippi State and Florida. They held those 3 teams on third down to 2 for 33. A&M trying to get to 7-0 for the first time since 1994. I'll start it. I mentioned it. I referenced it. I teased it. Razorback straight up, 38-27. Brian.
Yeah, I'm going to go with A&M here. I know that Arkansas put up a really nice fight last week against Tennessee. It was something that really surprised me because I didn't think they were going to put up that type of fight. But I do think that Texas A&M gets the win here. I think they get it by more than that touchdown. So I'm going to take A&M minus that 7.5.
Landon?
I'm going to side right there with Bryant with Texas A&M, and I promise we're not going with the same flow that we have been because Brian and I seem to be on the same wavelength with a lot of these picks. But Arkansas sure does have a fun offense this year. I don't think they have problem putting up points, but when it comes down to it, this Texas A&M defense, Brett, you even mentioned it, has been really, really stellar against these teams. So I expect Texas A&M to run away with this one.
I think A&M is a defense-first team, and I think to be a champion you have to be. 2:30 tomorrow, the game that I'll be at, ABC, down at Sanford Stadium, Georgia -8.5 over Ole Miss. Ole Miss won last year in Oxford, but Georgia leads big all time, 33-14-1. Last time for Ole Miss to win in back-to-back years, and that's what happened if they won, was 95 and 96. 95 was in Oxford, 96 between those glorious hedges, 52-17 2 years ago, all dogs. The most yards allowed by Georgia this year to a running back was 60 yards for Star Thomas for Tennessee. Quan Lacey must go over 100 for Ole Miss to have a chance to win. Georgia will try to run it right down Ole Miss's throat. Landon.
If I learned anything from that Auburn and Georgia game last week is that Georgia is very vulnerable, and they kind of snuck one away from them. I think Ole Miss is looking good. I know they've had some setbacks in previous games, but Ole Miss looks like a really high-powered offense, and their defense is doing really good as well. So I'm going to take the Rebels in this game.
I did this yesterday on Jocks when I joined Pat Smith and his crew for my I Ain't Scared pick of the week. I ain't scared. Ole Miss straight up 31-17.
Yeah.
Now, Bryant, don't tell me. So go ahead and give me your Georgia pick, because you're not going against your doors, against Seattle, and a group lock on Ole Miss, so I can just write it down, right?
Yeah, unfortunately you can't. I don't know who I am. I don't know what happened to the real Bryant, but it's certainly not the person sitting here in front of this microphone. I'm going to go with Ole Miss in this one, and it really doesn't have much to do
to Bryant,
as much
He's a
with
shell of his
Ole
old
Miss.
self.
I mean, honestly, I am. It doesn't really have much to do with Ole Miss, and more that, I'll be honest, I really don't like this Georgia team. I'm not saying that they're bad. It's just something about them.
So I'm a homer, and you're really calling it down the middle, taking Ole Miss.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is, but yeah, I'm going to take Ole Miss here. We talked about it with Kaylee Mansell a couple weeks ago, and she kind of said, like, this team just hadn't really figured out who they are yet, and I think she's right about that. So I'm going to take I don't take Ole Miss to win the game, but I do think they can keep it within a touchdown at least.
3 o'clock on ESPN2, the Memphis Tigers, 20.5 points. Why is it only 20.5?
Landon, here it comes, Brett, where Brett says, oh, Bryant's scared about this game.
Terrified.
He's scared about UAB.
And
Here we
hear
go.
one time today.
I can feel it coming, Brett.
He beat you
Memphis,
to the punch.
big favorite over UAB. Battle of the Bones, Ryan Silverfield versus son of Mort, Alex Mortensen. 18th Battle of the Bones, Memphis Barbecue versus Birmingham, please. That should be about a 20.5 point favorite for that. 6-0 to Tigers, first time since 2015, 10-game winning streak, tied with The Ohio State University for the longest in the country. 45-7 last time out for the Tigers. Last time out for UAB, it sent Trent Dilfer packing, 53-33 to FAU. Tigers, big, early, often, 48-13 Tigers.
Yeah, I am also going to go with the Tigers here. Over the last couple of years, this series has been about as lopsided as Memphis Barbecue versus Birmingham Barbecue. It has been all Tigers, and I think that continues. We talked about it earlier this week with Matt Infield about that line being at 20.5. Kind of weird. I thought it would be a lot more, and so I'm going to take the Tigers here. They're still undefeated against the spread. I think they keep that rolling tomorrow afternoon.
Landon?
The only fear and headline that I feel is surrounding this game is, could it possibly be a trap game with South Florida coming into town next week?
I certainly don't want to overlook it.
That's the only thing.
Trap's
I can
Scared's
see.
cousin, isn't it? Trap game is cousin of I'm Scared.
They're somewhere related down the line, I guess.
Well, I'll finish. That is not the case, I think, with this Memphis team. That is not the case with this game at all. With UAB and their defense allowing about 41 points per game, Memphis is going to have no problem scoring all over them, and it's not going to be a trap game. Memphis hasn't let me down yet. It hasn't let any of us down yet, and that doesn't start this week.
So, group lock?
Group lock, absolutely.
That's what it is. 315, SEC net Florida minus 8.5 over Mississippi State. DJ Lagway, 9 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Blake Shapen, 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. 35-19-2 all-time Gators over the Maroons. State won 10-7 in 2010 in its last trip to the Swamp. That was Dan Mullen over Urban Meyer. It's not the case tomorrow, and it could be tomorrow's last appearance by Billy Napier anywhere with Florida gear on. Give me State. Straight up, 19-18, Bullies win.
Wow. Yeah, I'm going to go with Mississippi State here as well. You know, you're hearing so much noise around this program. I mean, some reports saying, win or lose, that Florida is going to make a change once this game is over. Whether that's true or not, I don't think that type of noise is good around a program going into a game like this. We've seen Mississippi State be pretty feisty at times, so I think they certainly can cover this 8.5 points. I'll take Mississippi State.
Landon?
It is. It's hard to believe that we have a group lock on Mississippi State, but that's exactly what we have.
4.
Too many group locks.
That is way too many. But I mean, what you've seen with Florida this year is they've been all over the place. They got that huge win against Texas, but with a lot of momentum at home. That was just really good. And then they travel over to Texas A&M and try to put up a fight, but really nothing going for them there. And I just don't think they turn it around against, as Bryant described, a very feisty Mississippi State team. So give me the Dogs.
All right, hurry up, no huddle time, 6:30 tomorrow night on ABC. Bama minus 7.5 over Tennessee. Sean McDonough, Greg McElroy, Molly McGrath meeting his top 20 teams for the third time and top 15 for the third time in 4 years. Bama tied with Boise State for nation's longest home winning streak at 15. Bryant.
Yeah, I'm going to go with I'll go with Alabama here. I'll take them minus the 7.5. I think they can get the win here, and they've been really, really good since that opening game.
Bama lights the cigars, 35-17 tied. Another group lock, Landon?
Absolutely not. We are going to go with Tennessee over
Smart.
here.
Very smart.
I think at least they keep it within a touchdown margin. I expect it to be a shootout, so give me the Vols.
All right, tomorrow night, Notre Dame minus 8.5 over Southern Cal in South Bend, 52-38-5 all time. Irish lead that pretty big. Every year I say this. I'm surprised it's this big when we pick this game. I think I say that every year, don't I, Brian?
I think so.
2011, last SC win in front of touchdown Jesus, Noah Eagle, Todd Blackledge, and Catherine Tappan on NBC. 56 bowls for SC all time. 44 for Notre Dame. USC with 8 Heisman Trophy winners. Notre Dame with 7. The names of the history of college football from this game. OJ, Reggie Bush, Johnny Lujack, Paul Horning. I take SC to win 28-24.
Wow.
Brian.
Well, Brett, unfortunately, it might not be too long where you can't say that it's been so lopsided because we might not have this game
Great point.
Much longer, which is unfortunate. But Notre Dame, ever since those first 2 games of the season, they've really turned it around, played it a lot better. So I'm going to take Notre Dame to win this game and win it big.
Landon?
Yeah, I'm right there with them. I don't think Notre Dame, if they want any chance of making it to the playoffs, can afford another loss, so they're not going to lose this game. So give me the Fighting Irish.
Landon, let's stay with you quickly. Your lock and shot from college football.
My lock this week is a team that has no problem putting up points over any opponent they face, and that's going to be Air Force minus the 3.5 versus Wyoming. I expect them to score big, certainly more than that 3.5-point line that they're giving right now going to the Mountain West. And for my shock this week, give me the ranked Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets plus the 1.5 versus Duke. I'm actually surprised that Duke is favored in this game, so I expect Georgia Tech to run away and make it my shock.
The Rambling Wreck from Georgia Tech. I hear they're great engineers. My college football lock, OU minus 5.5 at South Carolina. OU wins 28-17. My shock, Kentucky plus 12.5. Texas wins 23-21, but I get there covering the point spread for my college football shot. Brian.
For my lock, I'm going to go with a game that is later tonight. I'm going to go with Cal at home minus 10.5 over North Carolina. We talk about all the noise around this North Carolina team going all the way out to California. I think Cal can win this game big. And then for my shock, I'm going to go with Landon's team, Hawaii, plus 2.5 over Colorado State.
That's a great pick.
I don't know why, but I'm going to take the Warriors in this one.
Because
I don't know Brian anymore. With all these different picks and taking Landon's team for his shot. You want to win that bad, huh?
We'll give it a try and see what happens, Brett.
You'll get there.
NFL starts early Sunday morning, 8:30 NFL Network from London. Rams minus 2.5 over Jacksonville. This is Liam Cohen versus Sean McVay. This is Stafford versus Lawrence. Rams lead all time 5-1 in this matchup. Give me Jacksonville plus the 2.5. Straight up, Jags win 17-13. Brian.
Yeah, isn't Jacksonville's like the international team, right? They want to make their home over there. So, yeah, I'll take the Jags in front of maybe somewhat of a home crowd. Give me the Jags plus 2.5.
Landon.
No group block here. I'm going to go with the Rams. Matthew Stafford looks timeless, and their offense looks great. I'm going to go with Los Angeles.
3:05 on Sunday afternoon on CBS. Chargers minus 1.5 over Indianapolis. Chargers lead all time 20-11. 2-1 in postseason. They first met in 1970 with John Unitas, the quarterback for the Colts, and John Hadel, the quarterback for the Chargers. Sunday, give me the Chargers 27-23, laying the 1.5. Chargers win and cover. Bryant.
I'm going to go with the Colts in this one. I'll take them plus 1.5. They've been looking really good this season. I'll keep riding them until the wheels fall off.
Landon?
I'm right there with them. I'm going to take the Colts. The Chargers haven't looked the best in the previous weeks, but Indiana Jones and Jonathan Taylor probably will run all over these guys. Give me the Colts.
NFL lock for me, Kansas City minus 12.5 over Las Vegas. They win 31-3. Shock, Miami plus 2.5 at Cleveland. Dolphins win 24-20. Landon.
Brett, I think you can put me in the category that Brian has established himself in as what is going on, what are we doing with these picks. But my lock this week is going to be Patriots minus the 7.5 against my Titans.
Wow.
The firing of Brian Callahan.
What are we doing here?
The firing of Brian Callahan. Mike Vrabel coming back into town, going to stick it to the face of all the Tennessee Titans fans. Patriots are definitely going to run away with this. I'm doing it for the love of the game, for the love of picking, more so than my fandom for the Titans. So that was a really painful one to pick. But my shock this week, I'm surprised that they were favored in this game. So that's why I went with it. Give me the Dolphins plus the 2.5 in their team meetings against the Browns.
Yeah. We're together. Brian?
I'm going to go with the Bears minus 4.5 over the Saints. I think this Bears team starting to figure some things out. I think they can cover at home against the Saints. And for my shock, Jets, I guess they're going to win eventually at home against the Panthers. This Panthers team has only won at home, so give me the Jets plus 1.5 against the Panthers.
That's our picks for this Friday afternoon, brought to you by First National Bank and Trust, a proud division of First National Bank of Eastern Arkansas. Hundreds of years collectively of lending experience. Customer confidence is truly the cornerstone for anything real estate, commercial, ag, hunting, recreational. Contact them. The great offices in West Tennessee, at Ridge Lake, in Collierville. Contact them at fnbt.com or call them at 901-498-5763.
Well, let's get to another break, and when we return, we'll wrap up today's show. We'll wrap up this week with Moe's Crunch Time.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Air. We breathe it naturally. Simple, right? Not so fast. The air you breathe could be hazardous to your health. Don't guess. Be sure with a phone call to the Memphis Mold Inspector, the only licensed mold assessor in the Mid-South. Call the Memphis Mold Inspector to check the air quality inside your home and office. Protect babies, pets, new homes, old homes, employees, friends, loved ones, and you. Just call 901-292-7788 for clean air and peace of mind. 901-292-7788 for the Memphis Mold Inspector. Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis has serious vans for serious work. At 4430 American Way, they are the Mid-South source for cargo, passenger, crew vans, and custom chassis. Need one or a full fleet? New or used, they've got it with fleet solutions and custom upfits. Certified techs keep you moving with fast maintenance, repairs, and a large parts inventory. Mercedes-Benz Van Center is your Sprinter Van headquarters. 901-237-9302 or sprintervans.com. Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis, part of the Tag Truck Center family, driven to keep you on the road.
Hey, Mid-South, if you're looking for a new ride, look no further than Gossett Kia on the Pike. And remember, every Gossett Kia comes equipped with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. 2025 Kia K4 LXS, we Gossett $154 a month, $39.95 due at signing. How about 2025 Kia Sorento LX, we Gossett $195 a month, $49.95 due at signing. And Gossett Kia on the Pike's got 2025 Kia Soul S, $245 a month, $39.95 due at signing, all 24-month lease. You just ask for Bobby J. He'll put you in a new Kia today. Hurry to Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online anytime at KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
SG 458, MSRP 34275, sold S7272,681, MSRP 24980, K4 SE 195,392, MSRP 24375, includes all rebates and incentives, 895 PF plus minus through KFA, excludes tax title license with approved credit, deal stock only, see dealer for complete details, offer valid through 11/3/25.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need a crunchy bite to eat? Head to Moe's for nachos, crunch wraps, tacos, salads, and more. Moe's.com is your go-to for all your taco crunch time emergencies.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started.
Spanning the globe.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy! This game has always been called the world's greatest cocktail party. Do you know what is going to happen here tonight? This is for all the biggest crunch time.
You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that? Crunch time between the hedges.
The ball game is over, and Memphis has its first win in 16 tries. Its first win ever against its fierce in-state rival Tennessee.
It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin,
Crunch Time is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need catering? Moe's Taco Truck is always ready to cater for you. Just give Jenny Nash a call at 901-606-3172. Moe's.com is your go-to for all your taco Crunch Time emergencies. Well, Brett, what I learned today, it's actually something that I learned yesterday, but we didn't have enough time yesterday for me to bring it up. And didn't really have any time today to bring it up, so I've saved it for what I learned yesterday, but learned today as well. Joe Tipton, who works for On3, covers college basketball, he put out this post on social media yesterday. Kentucky's NIL payroll for this year's roster is $22 million. I
don't believe that.
I don't want to believe it.
There's no college football NIL that big this year.
No. And so that's why I don't really believe it. But
if it's true,
I was about to say I don't put anything past anybody these days in the modern day of NIL. But according to a report, it is $22 million. And like you just said, Brett, that you're not seeing football teams.
I think that's Big Blue Nation puffery.
Certainly could be.
Well, look how big ours is.
Well, and Brett, even more so, I still don't think they're over, whether for good or for bad, or miss them, hate them, whatever it is. I don't think they're over Cal yet. And with Arkansas saying we have all this money and we're going to pump this into our basketball program, Kentucky throwing out there saying, we're $22 million on our roster. We've got the best roster. But whether it's $22 million or whatever it is, it has been reported that Kentucky will have, if not the most expensive roster.
I wish this was public record somehow.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
Because I know back in the old days of Bagmen and Booster Money, my $30,000 linebacker,
Sure.
my $40,000. None of it was that big.
And we've seen that a lot with these guys because a lot of times you figure out how much teams are paying players or paying for a whole team by asking those players how much NIL money are you making, and they're telling you. And a lot of times those players, and understandably, they're all 18 to 25 years old. Well, if it's 900,000, we'll call it 1.2. I mean, it's just you round up a little bit.
They do. What I learned, Tigers with a chance to go out tomorrow, make a statement, pound UAB, and set up one of the big, fun weeks that we've ever had around here with football, with anything on this radio station. Take care of South FLA next week. USF, take care of FAU. And then next Saturday at SBLS, well, that's a lot of letters there. USF, FAU, SBLS. That'll be a big one. And it'll be much discussed next week, a buzz for the Tigers in an American game, and that is needed.
No, it absolutely is needed, and it's going to be a lot of fun next week. Well, Brett, what I could have done without today, it is that the Grizzlies, they'll play their final preseason game tonight, and looking for their first win. We talked about it a little bit yesterday after Wednesday night's loss to the Hornets on the road. Tonight on the road against the Heat, and we'll see if they can pick up one win in the preseason. I'm not super worried about record or anything like that in preseason.
Not at all.
But I'm just ready to get to the regular season. So let's wrap up whether win, loss. We're not drawing in NBA.
Opening night.
It's right around the corner. But I'm tired of these preseason games, Brett. Let's get to the regular season.
Enough for the preseason. I could have done without this, and I hate to see it for anybody, but the whole atmosphere around Billy Napier, we can say that payout makes it all okay, but he still has professional pride. He still has dignity as a human being, and big phony Scott Strickland really making him kind of simmer in it and making him attend his own football funeral.
It is insane that everybody's going to be watching that game to see what happens, and then everybody's going to be watching their phones immediately after that into Sunday to see what happens. Do they actually pull the plug, win or loss? And that's what the reporting has been, and like you said, it's kind of his football funeral, and he has to kind of be in charge of it.
That's not fair to anyone.
No, it's not fair at all. I mean, I think we mentioned it earlier this week. I mean, if you're going to do it, just go ahead and do it. I mean, they can say, well, you've got the week off, and it'd be a perfect time to make the change, put an interim in there. That's a lot for not only him as a coach, but for those players to have to go through where your head coach, I'm sure a lot of these guys have a good relationship with him of, hey, he's going to be gone, and you just kind of have to go along like everything's normal. It's a very weird situation. Brett, where are you beaming tonight?
You know where I'm beaming to tomorrow. Sanford Stadium, my favorite SEC place to go to a game. In my second favorite SEC town, Rebs and Dogs right here with me with Gary Darby tomorrow starting at 12:30. Kickoff at 2:30 with David Kellum, Harry Harrison, calling all the game action and the analysis. John Darnell on the sideline, all of it right here on 560 and 98.5 FM.
Yeah, I feel like y'all have been giving me weird looks ever since I picked against Vanderbilt earlier. So, I mean, I'm going to beam.
We don't know you anymore.
I'm going to beam to that game. I hope that's all right.
Nice young man.
I'll be rooting for Vanderbilt, but that's I guess where I'll beam, LSU and Vanderbilt.
I'm afraid my cursing has changed.
Well, I mean, something's clearly changed me, but that's where I'm going to beam. That's going to be a fun game tomorrow. If Vandy's favored somewhere, I'm beaming to it.
We're going to watch it all. Look out for U of L tonight against the U. Nebraska at the Gophers. But all the baseball all weekend. World Series should be set by the time we're back on Monday. 5 top 20 versus top 20 matchups. LSU and Vandy, Ole Miss and Georgia, Tennessee, Bama, Southern Cal, Notre Dame, and Utah at BYU. You know it's serious when they call it the Holy War.
Well, that is absolutely true. But it's going to be a fun weekend. All the action. Enjoy it all. That's all the time we have. We'll talk to you again Monday afternoon.
It's Landers Truck and SUV season at Landers Ford in Collierville. New F-150s with incredible lease offers, plus Explorer and Expedition with X-Plan demo priced offers. The price you see is the price you pay. No hidden addendums. That's the Landers difference and what's made us the #1 Ford dealer in Greater Memphis. Inventory is moving fast. Get into a new F-150 or check out Explorer and Expedition X-Plan demo priced offers at Landers Ford in Collierville. Need to get out of your current vehicle? We're paying top dollar for trades. Keep the cash or use it to upgrade and save even more on your upgrade. Find out how much your trade is worth and get started buying online now with our Landers Easy Pass at LandersFordMemphis.com or give us a call to schedule your test drive today. Landers Ford in Collierville. Remember, if it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
As reported on Ford's 2024 total new vehicle retail sales report in Memphis market. Price tax, title license, and $6.95 processing fee. See dealer for complete details. Offer ends 11/3/25.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code USA to get up to a $5 per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code USA to get up to a $5 per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code USA.
It's football time in Memphis and soon basketball. And we cannot forget soccer. I'm Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark's Bensdorf Realtors, and you shouldn't forget real estate, as it's a year-round sport. I've sold homes on every major holiday, including Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and New Year's Day. So don't think spring and summer are the only prime times to sell. What is more important is the prime agent you want representing you, me. With a highly successful strategic marketing program, people often say when you want the job done, call Sheldon. I may be the worst golfer in town and known as Mr. Three-Putt to my so-called friends. I am one tough dude when it comes to selling your home. During the upcoming sports seasons, interview 2 to 3 players, but definitely include me to lead your team. You can reach me at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. Remember, Sheldon gets it done. Maybe not on the golf course, but I can sell your home. That's memphisrelocate.com or 483-0546, and go Tigers.
This traffic report brought to you by Salt Sports Bar and Bistro, 3101 South Mendenhall Road, where great food meets the big game.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, with Dave Woloshin, weekday mornings from 10 to 11.